All right.
Yeah. All right, Shalom. 2016. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Ruach, Qudash.
Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone. Salutations and much love to the Akim out there pushing out this word and truth and sincerity. And we out here once again, out here in downtown Tampa Bay, Channel Side, on Channel Side Drive, South Meridian Avenue. All right, or Channel Side and South 12th Street. So, you know, we out here prophesying the words of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Then the people know, all right, the judgments that are coming, and let them know the heathen, all right, their future captivity that's going to come. All right, thus saith the Lord. And we're just going to pop straight into the scriptures. Go ahead, bring that up.
This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
Yeah, he that stealeth a man and sell him. How did so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans get in the state that they are today? The self-proclaimed white man stole us. All right, they sold us. They put us into captivity. They did all manner of wickedness unto us. They brought upon us atrocities. Okay, so what? America has to pay for what is did unto the children of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And now is the time for the Lord to start reaping it. All right, because the Lord has been given many warnings. All right, so people can get right, so you can know your judgment. And now it's the time of fulfillment. Read that again, Baba Shah.
This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
That's right. So, hey, we're being found in the hands of our oppressors, man. To this day. To this day, we're still in the hands of our oppressors, man. You go back to 1492, if you know about history, all right, Christopher Columbus, which was an alias. All right, if you know anything about aliases, you get an alias when you're a criminal and you're on the run. All right, Christopher Columbus' true name was Cristobal Colon. All right, and he started the transatlantic slave trade. And to this day, we're still in the hands of those oppressors. All right, beginning with the Spanish, all right, the British, the Portuguese, all right, the Italian, all right, the oppressors, man. The ones that the French, the main ones were the French, the British, and the Spanish. All right, we're still in the hands of them to this day. So what? When the Lord returns, we're gonna still be found to be in the hands of those that stole us. All right, so those that stole us and sold us, as history has told you, secular history. All right, if you don't believe in the Bible, go into secular history. It tells you that these events occurred right here in Americas, man. North, South, Central, the Caribbean. These events took place here in America. And here it is to hundreds of years later, we're still in oppression under the same people that came here hundreds of years ago, man. And guess what? The Lord got a special judgment for those that put us in bondage, put us in captivity. All right? Those that stole and sold us. Bring that out.
Yeah. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
Yeah, all they that devoured us shall be devoured, man. Beginning with the Syrian captivity, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Medes, the Greeks, the Romans, America, all these captivities, they have devoured us, and now it's time for them to be devoured. Thus saith the Lord. Go ahead.
And all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity.
All our adversaries is going into captivity. Get Revelation 13.
Yeah.
Because look, captivity Actually, somebody, real quick, Baba Shaw, get the word captivity, the etymology of captivity, and we'll get it in the blue letter after that. Because all these nations have led us into captivity. They've done these things unto us. Now it's their time to go into. The tables are being turned, so to say. Psalms 83? Yep. Yep. Yeah, let me know when you got that.
Yep, I got you all.
Go ahead.
This is the etymology of captivity from the late 14th century. It says, state of being a prisoner.
State of being a prisoner, man. Right? That's what our nation has gone through, man. State of being prisoners. Throughout the centuries, throughout the millenniums, our people have gone through nothing but captivity. And it was through the hand of these other nations. And like the brother just read that again, Baba Shaw.
Let's start from the top.
Just start from the top.
All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 30, and verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
And how did they devour us, man? Taking our resources, taking our heritage from us. Okay? Go ahead.
And all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity.
Yeah, all these people that have come up against us, these Satanists, all right? Because the word Satan means adversary. So anybody that's come up against the nation of Israel, they're Satanists, man. All right? They're likened unto Satan because they're our adversaries. And as the scriptures say, they're going into captivity. Now let's read what... Go ahead, brother. Let's read what captivity is in the etymology.
It says to take hold, seize. It says...
To take hold and seize, man. They're going to be taken hold. They're going to be seized up now. Go ahead.
It says subjection.
Subjection. They're going into subjection now, man. It's time for you heathens to go in subjection under the nation of Israel, man. All right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Go ahead.
Bondage. Servitude.
Servitude. All right? And it's not going to be no nice servitude. All right? What you did unto us is going to be 10 times worse, man. 100 times worse. Because what you nations did unto us, especially Esau, Edom, all right, the self-proclaimed white man, they did a horrific things unto us, man. Just straight broke beast tactics unto us, man. Just wicked abominations unto us. But what we gonna put you in subjection and captivity and righteousness. Go ahead.
And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil.
Yeah, they that spoil us shall be a spoil, man. All these nations that have spoiled us throughout the ages, all right, spoiling the temple, all right, taking our goods, taking our women, bashing our children, all right. The same thing is gonna fall upon them, especially Esau, Edom, pursuing the book of Obadiah.
I got it right here. This is Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, as they have done, it shall be done unto thee.
Yeah, all the heathen, man. As they have done, it's going to be done unto them, man. All right, so all these hardcore oppressions that our people have been through, it's going to be done unto them now, man. Keep going.
Thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
Yeah, their reward is going to return upon their own head. All right? All their works is going to return upon them. Okay? All their wicked acts is going to befall them. One more. Go ahead.
Verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down. They shall be as though they had not been.
Yeah, so we had to drink the cup. All right, so now you nations is going to have to drink the cup. All right? The cup of what? Slavery, hardcore bondage. All right, things that are not comfortable for a man, woman, and child, man. Slavery is not comfortable for somebody, man. But what? These nations are going to have to go through it because they did it unto us. All right? All right, all so-called white people, Chinese people, Arabs. If you're not part of the nation of Israel, you're going into captivity.
That's right.
You're going into slavery. Hardcore.
Right.
Go ahead. Finish. You done on that?
Yeah, finish that.
All right, you got it. Go ahead.
Back in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16, finishing up. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
Yeah, all that prey upon us, the Lord's going to give us for a prey, man. All right? Yeah. these nations, man, that they have preyed upon us, they're gonna become the ones being preyed upon, man. And I'm not talking about P-R-A-Y. I'm talking about P-R-E-Y. All right, they're gonna become the hunted. All right, the hunter is gonna become the hunted. The hunted.
I got a quick precept, Show. It's St. Matthew's 26, verse 39. And he went a little further and fell on his face, talking about Yahweh Shai, and prayed, saying, "O Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me."
Yeah, so the Lord,
Just showing you an example.
the Lord had to go through drink of that cup,
yeah.
man, of being beaten with many stripes, being tortured. All right, so how much more the people that did it unto him? Okay.
That's why Revelation 18 says, "Pour unto them double as they have given unto thee."
Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, bring it out.
I'm gonna finish this real quick.
Yeah.
It says Matthew 26 and 39. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt."
Yeah, so if the Messiah, the one people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, all right, if the cup wasn't even passed from him, what makes you other nations think that the cup's going to be passed from you? That you're going to go scot-free for your wicked atrocities that you've done to the children of Israel. The apple of the Most High's eye. All right, that's not going to be passed from you. All right, it's going to be, you're going to have to drink it with no chaser. You're not going to be able to get away. All right, it's going to be forced down your throat, and it's going to be with no chaser. All right, bring that out.
This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 6. I'm going to read through 8. It says, reward her even as she has rewarded you, and double
reward her even as she ever rewarded you. What are the deeds of America, man? Where's some of them signs, man? Get the Native American signs, the slavery signs.
On the back of the
All right, because this is what was given unto us, man. This is the cup that we had to drink of. This is what what the whore rewarded us with, man. Atrocities, bringing brute destruction onto our people, man. Whipping our people, burning our people, cutting limbs off our people, killing our children in front of us. To this day, we're still treated the same way, man. They just sugarcoat it a little bit more because they got the TV now. They can sugarcoat it, and give their own agenda, give their perspective. But really, this is the truth right here, man. The atrocities that have been done upon us, man. And nobody want to address this. Everybody want to talk about women's rights and homosexual rights. What about the rights of the children of Israel?
That's right.
The true children of Israel, man.
That's right.
Nobody want to protest. Ain't no protesters and people marching up the streets and, all right, the million-man marches of the atrocities that have been done unto us. Go ahead.
It's Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz.
Yeah, because what? This is the Edomites, the daughter of Edom. All right, they're supposed to be rejoicing, man. They're supposed to be living it up because this is their kingdom. This is their time to live it up because what? The cup is going to be given unto them real soon. Go ahead.
That's right. The cup also shall pass through unto thee.
Yeah, the cup is going to be passed unto thee, man. The daughter of Edom, man. You self-proclaimed white folks, white people, Caucasians, Idumeans, red Hebrew Edomites. The cup's going to be passed unto you, man. Go ahead.
Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine.
Somebody get that in Obadiah. Or is it in Obadiah?
Yeah,
Esau,
Obadiah.
get that. Because how's he being made naked?
I got you. I know what's that.
Read that again while he get it.
Lamentations 4 and 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom,
Yeah.
that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked.
Yeah, thou shalt be drunken and make thyself naked, man. Right? Because what? You're going to have to drink of this cup. And you're being made naked now. You're being made bare. Go ahead.
And like the brother was reading in Revelation chapter 18, all right, that same cup that she gave onto the Israelites, all right, it's going to be poured onto them double, man.
So it's going to be double worse for them. All right, go ahead, Ivan.
This is Obadiah, chapter 1, verse. I'm gonna start at 4. Though thou exalt thyself, because we talking about Edom, how they, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and that's also the symbol of America, the bald-headed eagle. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. If thieves come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they leave some grapes? Because that was in our history that whatever falling from a fruit that falling from a tree, you don't pick it up, but you can pick whatever's from the tree. But Esau took everything, because you're supposed to leave that for the travelers that's coming through your land, for the nation of Israel. Esau took every single thing, all right? So they don't leave nothing. They basically devoured us. They ate us alive, okay? How are the things, this is verse 6, Obadiah 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up? Right?
And that's how Esau's being made naked, man. That's how Esau's being made, exposed, so to say.
Ain't this one Isaiah said, make bare the leg?
They make
bare the leg.
Yeah, but
I got you.
Yeah.
But that's how Esau's being made, being exposed, man, through the prophets of the Lord.
You got it?
The Lord is exposing these devils through the what? The prophets, man, through this internet. That's why you got these elites, these higher ups saying that the internet was the worst thing ever created. Because they see now that we're being able to expose them, all right? And it's just going to continue to increase, man. Go ahead. Oh, you got, what you got?
I still got that.
Yeah, finish that verse up and then get that Isaiah.
This is Lamentations 4:22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion.
Yeah, so all our punishment is over, man. The punishment of our iniquity has been done. The time of slavery, all these things. But what? Esau took it to a whole nother level, man. Esau wanted to go above and beyond, man, because that's what he does. That's what he was set up for. He was the sword of the Lord. Go ahead.
He will visit, he will no more carry thee away into captivity.
Yeah, so we're not going to be taken into captivity no more. Like we've been reading, now it's time for the people that took us and spoiled us and brought us into captivity. Now it's time for them to go into that. The same thing they brought us into, now it's time for them to go through the same things. Go ahead.
He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom.
Yeah, he's going to visit your iniquity. What's your iniquity? Touching the apple of the Most High's eye, which is the nation of Israel. Doing all these atrocities unto us, man. And to this day, you treat us like garbage, man. Dragging us through the streets, shooting us down in the streets. All right? And let's not even go into the butchery that you committed 500 to 600 years ago, beginning in 1492. And you're still in that same spirit, man. Now you just got a means to protect yourself, so to say. Means to lie, to deceive the nations. Yeah, because that's what in the book of Revelation said that the dragon would do when the wound was healed. It said they would come and heal the nations for a little season, so to say. That's what they're doing. They're deceiving the nations, man. Lying to everybody, telling them that you're not a Moabite, you're not an Ammonite, you're not this, you're not that. Specifically, you're not an Israelite. That's deception, man. But now it's time for you Edomites to pay for your iniquities, man. Because that's how this land was established, all right, off of blood and iniquities. That was it.
He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
Yeah, your sins are being discovered, all right? Everything that the so-called white man has been trying to hide for years is being exposed, all right? It's being brought out on the forefront. Everybody knows about your dirty draws, man. All your wickedness that you go around the earth committing. All the atrocities that you've committed and through secular history, as they like to say. All right, it's all out there on the forefront, man. It's all being made bare. It's all being exposed. Bring it out.
All right. This,
Bring that out real quick.
This the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 49 and 10. He was holding that?
Yeah.
Alright, this is Jeremiah 49 and 10. I'm going to read through 12. It says, Jeremiah 49 and 10, but I have made Esau bare.
Yeah, the Lord has made Esau bare. How? Through this internet, all right, through the prophets of the Lord, through all the things that is being exposed throughout the four corners of the earth. That's how Esau is being made bare, man. All his dirty, wicked atrocities that he's committed is being brought out to the forefront, man. And there's no more hiding for you damn devils anymore, man. That's
right.
All your history is on paper. It's on wax. All right? And you can't lie about it no more because what? We got the facts now.
That's right.
Now you got to try to justify yourselves because you know that you ain't right. All right? You know that what you've been doing ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm just walking in my car. Keep walking.
Keep going, brother.
This is Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret place.
That's right. The Lord has made you damn devils bare, man. For the transatlantic slave trade, all right, slavery here in America, all right, the atrocities you've done on the islands, North, Central, and South Americas, you're being exposed for it, man.
Right.
And then the only thing you can do is, oh, God loves everybody. No, man, it's too late for that. You're being exposed, man, because you didn't show us no love when you was butchering our people, when you was slaughtering our children, you was cutting our pregnant women's stomachs open, all right? All these wicked acts that you were committing, there was no love then. All right? The scripture said, he that have showed no mercy shall not be showed any mercy, man.
Right.
So the Lord ain't gonna show no mercy on you damn devils, man.
Right.
You so-called Caucasians. All right, if you go into the word Caucasians, it means cave dweller. All right, you so-called Caucasians are cavemen and cave beasts, man. All right, you're brute beasts. All right, and the Lord's going to put you in that same estate once again.
Well, they act as such.
Hey, brother, I was gonna say, you said that Caucasians mean cave dwellers, and these motherfuckers are named after the mountains they came from, the Caucasus Mountains, man. Yeah. I mean, so like if you try to go back to the root word of Caucasians, man, it'll lead you right back to the Caucasus Mountains where these cave dwellers come from, man.
Hey, but
right?
they don't even know that.
Right.
They don't even know their own history.
Right.
Because they're brute beasts, man. The basest of men, the vilest men.
And they too busy taking everybody else's.
Yeah, right. They worried about everything else, but where they came from.
Yeah, they're everything but what they really are.
Salakia. Just to back these brothers up, this is a Jewish rabbi named Arthur Koestler, book called The 13 Tribe. To back these brothers up, he even exposed who Esau was, okay? Living in the caves himself. So Esau is made bare, all right?
They own tongue, y'all. Follow
Your
on.
own tongue, come, what? It's in song?
Yeah.
Continuing on in Jeremiah 49 and 10, it says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself.
Yeah, he's not able to hide himself, man. We know who you damn devils are, man. Esau Edom is becoming a household name, man. All right, people are knowing you damn devils as the Edomites. All right, Edomites are starting to become knowing that they're Edomites, man. Dr. Edom, you know, they know they can't hide themselves no more, man. And not only that, but the whole world hates you, man. The whole world has recognized that you are the problem on the earth.
Right.
All right, the self-proclaimed white man is the problem of the earth. And all the nations know that, man. Look at history. They're the cancer of the earth, and they got to be eradicated with what? Thermonuclear missiles. They got to get that radiation, that chemo, man.
Hey, brother, you just said that homeboy is being exposed all over the earth.
Say, damn.
Hey, you
He'll never do that. Yeah, he never does that.
Ain't no cars coming or nothing. But nevertheless, the brother just said that the damn devil is being exposed all over the planet Earth, right? Well, going into like the word devil, it means the deceiver. Yep. So what? He's no longer being able to deceive these nations, man. All right, the devil is falling from his position because why? He can't even hide himself no more, man. People stop looking at him like he God now, man. People looking at him like, is this the man, man? All right, according to the scriptures, man, he's being exposed and called out, man.
That's right. Hey, because a great trick of a deceiver is what? They make you look at this hand while they're really doing something on this hand. And Esau can't do that no more, like, you know? Because everybody, all the eyes are on them because everybody sees them for the devils that they are now, man. They bring nothing but death and destruction wherever they go. All right, death, murder, rape, rob, and murdery, man. All that. They bring all the destruction with them, man. And now they're being exposed, so that's why nobody wants them around, man. No, even the people that were confederate with them don't want them around no more, man. Their own allies, even them among themselves, Esau and Edom on Edom crime, man.
Quick one to go along with what the Brother Dawud said. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that day came.
Yep, they're falling away. We fell away from our heritage. Pursuing to Jeremiah 17:4. Go ahead.
Yep. And that man of sin be revealed.
Yeah, the man of sin, Esau, Edom. Right? Go ahead.
The son of perdition.
The son of perdition. That's destruction, man. The self-proclaimed white man has brought nothing but destruction upon the earth, man. Everywhere he goes, it gets destroyed. Chaos goes anywhere this devil goes, man. This is the son of perdition, and what? Like we read earlier, he's being exposed. All right, his wickedness is being brought out to light.
Verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Yeah, because this is what these devils are doing, man. They're trying to set themselves up as the Most High. They want to know everything you're doing. All right, you're giving them access to everywhere you go. All right, every time you download the app, they asking you for permission.
You take a picture.
Yes.
Take a picture of
the
the
location. You know,
location, the exit location where you're taking the picture. You take a picture on social media, you post it up. You're allowing location, and it'll tell you on the top of the picture where that picture was taken, man. All you gotta do, you can be in your house, man. All you gotta do is click on that where it says it'll say whatever, Loops, Florida. You click on it, and it's gonna show you that exact spot where that picture was taken, man. All right. Yep. That's what this devil's doing, man. He wants to know all, and that's ultimately all leading towards the mark of the beast, man.
14.
The RFID microchip. All right.
Exactly. That's why he wants to implement that, because he wants to know your every move, because he wants to set himself up as the Most High, man. This man of perdition. All right. Here it is, the man that's gone around the whole earth bringing nothing but destruction. Now he wants to know what you eat, when you take your pills, when you take a doo-doo. Right? Oh, he wants to know everything about you.
Your pedometers, those how many steps you take, your biometrics, your heart.
How many thrusts you take when you're having sex?
Yeah,
how many breaths you take during the day?
Yeah, how long you sleep when you wake up, your patterns.
Yep.
Hey, real quick before you finish that, can you go to verse 8?
Kind of. Select.
Take my phone.
Well, get that real quick to go with that, what he just read.
Just Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Yep.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Yeah, so what? Esau wanted to set his seat above the Most High. That's why this rhetoric of Apollo or 11 is going around, because they're trying to cover up their own lies, man. But they're trying to set themselves up above the Most High, man. Saying, look, we can go to space, we can do this, we can cure diseases, we can do this. Man, this is the devil for you, man. Here it is. He gave you the disease, but then he want to tell you that he's gonna cure it. But the Lord is the one that giveth life and taketh, man. But what? He's the one. Esau, Edom's the one that's trying to set himself above the Most High, man. Telling you that the evolution. Yeah, we were watching the video or the documentary earlier. Evolution is nothing but garbage, man. Okay. Esau tells you. He tries to give you an explanation to everything. That earthquake happened. He tried to give you an explanation for it.
And all they call it is a theory.
Yeah, it's scientific
theory.
Theory of evolution, theory of theory of everything. All right?
Except facts.
Except facts, man. They don't want to deal with facts. We got the facts, which is coming through the scriptures.
That's right.
Go ahead. That was it on that. Yeah. Oh, keep on. Yeah, keep on that.
It says Isaiah chapter 14, verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Yeah, see, that's what Esau wants to do, man. That's why he's setting up space stations. All right, trying to go to Mars now. Yeah, he sets up the RFID chip, and then what? He sends up these satellites so they can communicate with the 5G network and all this other nonsense that he's setting up. Because what? He wants to be as the Most High. He wants to set up a technology which really is given to him from the Most High, but what he wants to be as the Most High. So he wants to keep track of everybody. The scriptures tell you that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. The Lord sees everything, and that's what Esau Edom wants to do, man. He wants to know everything about everybody at all times, man. And if you're not with him, then he throws you into a concentration camp. He throws you in. He puts you to death. And that's what the Lord does. You disobey the Lord, what happens? You get the judgment, right? You get put to death. And that's what Esau's trying to do, man. That's why he's setting up these laws. You run a stoplight, you get fined. You break this law, you get this and that. Same thing. Because what? The law. Who was the creator of that, man? The Heavenly Father, and it's in the scriptures. The laws, the statutes, and commandments. Esau trying to do the same thing. He gave you statutes. Statute 13.92, this and that, man. Laws. You can't go this speed. You can't go that speed. Subsection. Yeah, all that nonsense, man. He gets that because he's trying to be as the Heavenly Father, man. Trying to set up his own laws. All right, trying to make everybody worship him.
He even give commandments. Thou shalt pay taxes.
Yeah.
Yep. So here you got the same thing as they always talk about a religion that we got, man. The same thing that you got here in Babylon, man. You got laws, statutes, commandments, man. You can't run the red light. You got to do this according to this and that statute, man. And then you got certain commandments. You got to pay taxes. You got to do this. You got to do that, man.
And if not, there's penalty for it. Just like the Lord, man. If you don't obey the Lord, there's a penalty for not obeying the Lord. And a lot of our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they're going to receive the penalty, man. And it's going to be of death. Who was reading? You was reading? Finish that?
No. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2.
No, you was in there, Isaiah. Did you finish that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, skipping on down to verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. And that was during the time that Paul was writing this. That's talking about the Roman Empire, which is these Edomites.
Which was the mystery of iniquity, because they weren't known as the Edomites at that time. They weren't going around. The Jake wasn't going to the Romans calling them Edomites, the real Edomites, you know.
Even Edomites himself was called on. Didn't even know that they were Edomites. Yeah.
Only he who letteth will let. That's talking about the Most High.
Yep.
Until he be taken out of the way. Talking about Esau.
And we get into somebody get a 2 Esdras chapter 6 real quick, because he that is letting Esau rule this earth right now. Get Job 9:24 as well, real quick, because hey, look, the Lord set these devils up so they can rule in wickedness, so they can show the world what the real face of wickedness is, man. You're gonna see it. You are seeing it, man, and it's gonna get a lot worse. You're gonna see the real face of the devil. Okay, you're gonna see the horns of the devil. And the Lord's allowing it. The Lord, he's the one that set him up. Get that Job first.
Okay. This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Yep. And pursuing the Malachi chapter 1, the wicked is Esau Edom. All right. Yep. So the Lord set them up. He gave the earth into their hands. Go ahead.
If not, where and who is he?
Yeah, so if not, where and who is he? Where's the Chesrei sign at?
Chesrei sign?
Yeah. If it wasn't the Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man that set this image up, then who was it? You don't have a Chinese Jesus. There ain't no Arab Jesus. There ain't a Filipino Jesus, is there? It's a white Jesus, right? And this is the mystery of iniquity, man. This is the devil for you, man. The same person that set up this image is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
All right, get that now, brother?
This is 2 Esdras chapter 6, verse 9.
Salaki, read that again, what you read?
I still got one verse after that.
Okay. Read that. And then,
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
yeah, so you just explained it, what the mystery of iniquity is, the self-proclaimed white man, because for a long time, pursuant to the book of Revelation, when the beast was healed, his wounds were healed, What did he do? He came and deceived the nations to what? I'm not an Edomite. I'm a white man. I'm white. I'm a white person. I'm a Jewish. I'm this and that. I'm everything but an Edomite.
They say that to this day.
Yeah, they're still lying about it, man.
Yeah.
So what is the mystery of iniquity is already coming to pass, man. It's already been exposed. We got the breakdown for
He's
it.
already been working.
Yeah.
He's already been doing his mission.
Yep.
All right.
And even during that time, when Paul was saying this, man, they were working, man.
Yep.
But they were going to go down, and then deceive the nations, and then rise again, and still deceive the nations.
Yep.
Go ahead.
That little horn
Yeah.
that raised from within. Yeah.
From the three.
From the three. Yep.
Verse 7 again. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Talking about the Most High. And then shall that wicked be revealed.
Yep. The wicked has been revealed. All right. The people are going around calling themselves so-called white people, Caucasians. All right. Americans, proud Americans. Those are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Whether you want to believe it or not, they're being revealed through the prophets of the Lord, man. Go ahead.
Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Yeah, that's what the Lord's coming back to do, man. Take this devil out of power, man. All right, take the earth that he gave him, all right, gave it into his hand to rule over. He's going to come and take it back now, all right? The Lord giveth and he take it back, man. The Lord gave the possession of this earth, the rulership of this earth unto the devil, the wicked, and now he's going to come and take it back.
Yep. Setting up the bases of men.
Yep.
You know, one precept in Daniel.
Get that now, Bump Shaw. Just to prove that. Because like we said earlier, we read Job 9:24. We mentioned Malachi chapter 1, how Esau is the wicked. All right, go ahead.
Hey, is that long?
Nah, just
hit the
Oh,
point.
okay.
All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6,
I
verse
got
9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Yeah, so Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning that followeth, man. So this is what the Lord's coming back with his power and his glory to take it from who? Esau. That he's going to be at the end of the world before the Lord returns and establishes the kingdom of Yasharallah, Jacob, Israel, a righteous kingdom. Right? It sets up a new heaven, a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. This is who the Lord is coming back for, the nation of Israel. And who's he got to take it from? He got to take it from Esau, Edom, who he gave it to previously. All right? And if you can receive it, he gave him the blessing when he was Isaac. Bring it. What you got?
Real quick, Psalm 17:8. Keep me as the apple of thy eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me. From my deadly enemies who compass me about.
That's right, man. And that's what we pray for, man. The elect of Yahweh Shema Shai is praying for that, man. We want to be protected from the wicked. Those that persecute us. Those that come after our souls, man. Here it is that everywhere you go, man, there's some kind of temptation that this devil is presenting you with, man. He's trying to take your soul, man, trying to get you out of the truth. Because Satan already got everybody else. The 2/3, everybody else that's in this world bullshitting around. Satan got a hold of them. But what? Satan, like Peter, Yahweh told Peter, man, Satan desired to sift you out. Yeah, sift you as wheat, man. But Yahweh I prayed for you, man. And guess what? John 16 tells you that, was it 16 or 17? That he prayed for us, man.
Yeah, John 17 and
17, man.
Yep.
The Lord prayed for all of us, man, not just Peter. He prayed for all of us so that we won't be sifted out. Yeah, and the scriptures say that none of the elect is going to be what's it say
Lost.
I got you
lost.
right
None of
here.
them are lost, you know.
Yep. Hey, and David, who's David? I said it, but he, you know, he the rock. But he's the rock, right? And we are not the house of David, right? So when he prayed for Peter, all right, twofold symbolically, he prayed for the whole house of David. You know what I mean? So I prayed that you know that
Hey, come on. If that's what it was. If it were at all possible.
Matthew 24.
No. Yeah, if it were
Possible
at
they
all
would be
possible,
deceived,
the very
right?
elect would be deceived, man. But it ain't gonna happen. That's why the scripture say if it were possible. It ain't. That's why the scriptures say that none of them is lost, man.
Finish it up on
finish that,
this.
yes.
Psalm 17 and 10. They are enclosed in their own fat. No?
They're enclosed in their was not the one of the
Blessings.
the blessings unto Esau was the fatness of the earth.
Yep.
Now Esau's been given all this fat, all right, meaning the resources of the earth, given everything, all right. Anywhere he go, he's accepted.
Yep.
But what he's what's it say? Consumed.
They are enclosed
Enclosed.
in their own fat.
Yeah, man. That pride has puffed him up, man.
Yep.
They're-
Hey, that's beautiful you said it. Listen to this part. The next part. With their mouth they speak proudly.
With their mouth they speak proudly, man. Because that's why it's far-fetched for them when we come out here and tell them that America's going to be destroyed, that we're going to rule over them. Because what? Their fatness has enclosed them.
Yep.
They're in this own little shell, and they're locked in their mind. They're imprisoned in their own minds
Yep.
because of their pride.
Yep. Rich is gotten by deceit.
Yep.
You know? Reading on says, they have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places.
Hey, and does the scripture not describe Esau as a crouching lion?
Yep.
You know?
Seeking who he may devour.
Yeah, seeking who he
No.
may devour. Read that again.
Read that again. I got one more verse after this.
Come on.
It says, like as a Psalm 17 and 12, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey.
Greedy of his prey.
All
All right,
right.
Prey greedy.
Habakkuk chapter 2 real quick. Because what does Habakkuk chapter 2 say? That he goeth and he becomes them all nations. You know, paraphrasing.
Scripture say that the prey departeth not.
He cannot be satisfied.
Yep.
We the
Not
prey,
be
man.
satisfied.
We the prey, man. And
They
and
drunk off
Esau
the
is
saints of the blood of drunk.
And we read the brother read earlier, Jeremiah 30 and 16. They what was it? They that devour they that preyed upon thee shall be made. You know, yeah. So hey, it's plain and simple, man. That's why the scripture says upon precept, man. Through thy precepts I get understanding.
Therefore, I hate every false
Exactly.
way.
Yeah, we're not coming up here with that church nonsense, man. Handing out pamphlets that had nothing to do with each other, you know? Go ahead.
It says, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Lord, this is the point, of course. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him.
Yeah, the Lord's going to arise and disappoint. Somebody get Joel, what is it, chapter 5? We're talking about their enterprise. All right, because the Lord's going to disappoint them, man. The so-called white man is not going to establish his new world order as he wants to bring it out, man. All right, he's not going to establish a 500 million people on the earth. Okay, 500 million. What else? He's not gonna execute everything, even though he's gonna. Well, read it.
This is Job chapter 5, verse 12. Let me see if I want to start below. No, we'll start at verse 12. This is Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the device of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
That's right. So their hands cannot perform. He disappointed the. Bible, sorry, read it again.
I'm gonna read 12 and 13. It says, he disappointed the device of the crafty, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Exactly. That's what the Lord's doing. He's gonna disappoint their enterprise, man. So they. Salaki, read it again.
Yeah, let me read 13 as well with it. Verse Job 12, or Salaki, Job chapter 5, verse 12 and 13. He disappointed the device of the crafty.
Stop right there. The device is meaning their plots, their plans, what they got, trying to bring forth. Okay?
Yep.
Their new world order. Yep.
Imaginations.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Go ahead.
So their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong.
Yeah, so he's not going to allow them to perform their enterprise. Okay, he's not going to allow them to complete what they wanted to, because Esau, Edom, he really believed that he's going to be able to do this. He wholeheartedly believes this. But the Lord, he said he's gonna disappoint them, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna be disappointed at the end of the day. You got the word?
This is the word there for enterprise, all right? And it means to take hold of, seize. Okay, it says abstract sense of adventurous disposition, readiness to undertake challenges, spirit of daring. So they're not these Edomites. They're not going to be able to take. All right, they're not going to be able to seize the ideas that they got set before, man. All right, they're not going to be able to take control of the whole world. They're not going to be able to get everybody under this RFID microchip. All right, they're not going to be able to satisfy their enterprise, man. Okay, that's just the bottom line, man. I believe in the Hebrew it goes back to plan.
Okay, that's what.
Okay.
Hey, Con,
Okay, that's what I was
if I may
looking for.
add, that goes back to the vision that Daniel had, man, of the feet that was mixed with miry clay. All right, and the iron. Con, and Daniel's second chapter, around the 42nd verse. That's going into prophecy of fulfilling the downfall and destruction of Esau Edom's rulership, man, and the restoration of righteousness.
And today, in today's times, is that part is even more clear because what the Democrats, they can't do what they want because because the Republicans are in office, and the Republicans can't do what they want to do because the Democrats have control of the majority of the House. So it's classic, man. They can't get nothing done. You know?
Really, the iron and that clay and the toes goes back to the EU. You know how the nations are divided. But how much more in the head of the beast?
And also too, when it says what is it, iron and clay? All right, some of them weak and some of them are strong. Like you got Greece. Greece is falling. Greece is weak. You know what I mean? Certain EU nations are weak and certain of them are strong. You know?
Exactly. Because you got that's why Trump actually fulfilled that prophecy, man. He made it clear and evident, man. He was telling all these NATO nations they needed to step it up with their GDP towards the military. Like Germany.
They ain't putting in enough money.
1%.
Yeah.
We here America's doing such and such percentage. So so that goes to show you that who the weak and the stronger, like Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Luxembourg? You know, they ain't got no army.
That goes, hey, just a side note. Just a side note. That goes to show you that they ain't the people of the Lord because the scriptures say that everybody got their own lot. You over here trying to tell the other people you got to fulfill your lot. I'm putting this percentage. That means you got to put in somewhere near this, like.
Hey, if I may add, in that same chapter, Daniel's the second chapter, it says, and they shall not cleave. It said they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, and they shall not cleave one to another. And what does that mean? The EU. Now you have Turkey that was a part of the EU. What they are branching off and they dealing with Russia. Yeah, that was a part of NATO. What they branched off and what they're dealing with Russia. All right. So now you have certain particular nations that were joined in with the North Atlantic Treaty Organization that are branching off and doing their own things and mingling themselves against these other nations. That's right, man. Fulfilling Ezekiel 38.
Exactly.
You know.
Let me finish this real quick. Go ahead. It says, back Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked. Which is thy sword?
Yeah, which is thy sword, which is Esau Edom, man. The sword of the Lord. Who did the Most High use to bring destruction upon the earth? All right, what nation of people have brought nothing but death and destruction? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Who has brought death and destruction? Of all the nations, who has brought death and destruction to the four corners of the earth? It was not the Chinese, man. It definitely as hell wasn't the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. They can't even leave their own countries without permission. So how was it them? It wasn't the Arabs. They're hated everywhere they go. It's the so-called white man. Got his hand in everything, man. Esau Edom. And this is not beginning with America. This goes back centuries, man. This devil brought nothing but death and destruction everywhere he goes. Go ahead.
This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Yeah, which we read earlier. That he was enclosed with the fatness, right? But this is why, because it was given unto him as a blessing. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven,
meaning everything that's given unto the earth. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40. For, this is Salah, and by thy sword shalt thou live.
And by the sword shall I live. Who has lived by the sword, man? Look into history, and you'll get the answer. Go ahead.
And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
That's right, man.
And that's what happened, man. All right. Esau broke the yoke that Jacob had over Esau
Oh, that's
after the time of Solomon.
Yes.
All right. He broke that yoke off his neck. And guess what? Then he became the dominant ruler a short time after that, man. Okay?
About 400 years, three.
Fucking find that shit.
Yeah, about 200 years later, maybe. About 250 years later, Esau came into power as the Greeks. All right? And bring that
Oh, I
out
got
real
you.
quick.
I got you real quick. It's Second Chronicles 21. Wait, read that again and then speak on it about the breaking the yoke off the neck.
This is Genesis chapter 27, verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
So we had the yoke on them and they broke it off. This is the beginning of it. It's Second Chronicles 21, verse 8. And somebody can speak on it if they want. It says, in his days, the Edomites revolted from under the dominion of Judah and made themselves a king.
And that was during the time of the kings, man. All right?
It's around 842 BC.
Yeah.
After Solomon.
Yeah. And it says, and in his days, the Edomites revolted from under the dominion of Judah and made themselves a king. Then Jehoram went forth in his princes and all his chariots and rose up by night and smote the Edomites which compassed him and the captains of the chariots.
Right.
So the Edomites revolted from under the hand of Judah until this day. At the same time, also did Lebanon revolt from under his hand because he had forsaken the Lord God of his fathers.
And so they revolted during that time, but really it became, when they really broke that yoke off, when they came into power, when they became the pressures of the earth, beginning with Alexander the Greek. Yeah, well, not the Darius. The fourth Khan. Yeah, okay. Yep. Or Xerxes. Well, no, not Xerxes, because that was during Jake was still in rule. Yeah. Yep. So, but you know that's when Esau really started rising into power, man. Because and then what they fell back into them chains for a little season, and then they were loose a little season so they could deceive the nations, man.
A little season.
Yes.
It's only been about half a day to the Lord, about a little less.
And even when Esau was in rulership during the Greeks and the Romans, it was only for a little bit.
Yeah.
Then they went away for 1,000 years.
Around it lasted from about 90 BC to about 80 AD.
Yeah, because
that's when Domitian was the last Edomite emperor.
Yep.
Domitian, the son of Vespasian, and then Nerva came in. He was a Jake, but it took a while leading up to
the 10 toes.
Yeah,
it's miry clay.
yeah. It took a while before Jake really had it completely established, going all the way to the time of Constantine. But before that, you had Septimius Severus. All right, the 5 good emperors. Those are Jakes. All right, those are Israelite men. Marcus Aurelius. No, Commodus. Commodus was a demon. He was a Jake, but he was a demon. He was the son of Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
He was a straight demon, though. You know? But
Hey, we want to read that again and I'll read this.
yeah, kind of.
Genesis?
Yeah, read no.
The 27 and 30.
Okay, read that.
39 or 40.
Genesis 27, verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother.
Yeah, hey, you ask these military men, this is my rifle. He can break it down. This is my rifle. I live by my rifle. Because what? They live by the sword, man. Edomites are hardcore into their guns, man. They got a collection of rifles and shotguns and Sig Sauers, the Rugers. They got a collection of them because what? They believe in that. That's their blessing. They got their little daughters shooting AKs and M16 sniper rifles in the gun range. You don't see Jake doing that, man. At least he's a bug out.
video
You know?
games. They play video games. That's about
Yeah,
as close as they get to
it's
some
Grand
shooting.
Theft Auto is as close as they gonna get.
going to. Hey, but just like you were saying, man, they out here. This is pretty much the position for these people, man. They living by their sword. All right, you ask these Americans why they so proud to be Americans or whatever. What you talk about this country? Like, my foreparents fought for this country. They bled for this country. Yeah, but you rape, rob, and murdered the whole planet Earth to be on top, man. All right, so this is you living by your damn sword, man. All right, I'm gonna read over in Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red.
Yeah, red, just like Esau Edom. Esau Edom came out red all over like a hairy garment. Now you ask yourself, who are the red people walking around the earth today? Right?
You call them rednecks, man.
Yeah, red. They call themselves rednecks.
Yeah, they call themselves that, man.
Yeah,
Blood start showing forth through their skin and everything like that, man. That's where they get those terms from, man.
Smack them up, see what color they turn.
Come on. But continuing on, Revelation 6 and 4 says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Yeah, who took peace from the earth, man? Power was given unto this red horse to take peace from the earth.
Yeah, I think this brother read it earlier about in Job 9:24.
Yep, exactly. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And that's when earth, well, matter of fact, in Maccabees.
Yep.
Let's prove it.
Hey, if I can add this real quick, that got to show you, like, the Bible is true. Is where you get everything from. Like, when Alexander took off like that, you know, beginning of Esau's empire, you got actually, so why was Alexander such a great force? How was he able to just go through and just conquer? Go all the way back to Genesis. The Lord gave this dude the sword, man. You know, the scriptures got all the answers, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, the scripture,
But they don't want to believe
yeah,
that.
the Bible got the answers to every question you got, man.
Yeah.
History, okay, future.
Past the president.
Read that again, though.
This is Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him.
And this is the book of Revelation. Didn't we not read earlier that the mystery of iniquity to the man of sin be revealed? This is the book of Revelation. Go ahead.
Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another.
Yeah, they should kill one another. Now let's
hang on. Let me finish it. And there was given unto him a great sword.
A great sword, yeah. That's the point the brother was reading in Genesis. All right, a great sword, which was the blessing that Isaac gave unto Jacob. Yeah, and now we understand who the sword of the Lord is, the wicked. Okay,
Which goes into Job 9:24.
so now let's see when the peace was taken from the earth, so we can get an understanding of that verse right there in Revelation 6.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1, and I'm going to start at verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
And Alexander, which we know, read the first verse real quick, and then jump down.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
This is secular history, man. And if you know what secular history means, it means history not pertaining to the Bible. This is something they teach you at school, and they don't bring out Bibles to teach you about Alexander the Greek, or the Great, as they call him, man. The Great Devil is what his real name should have been. Go ahead.
Verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, which was Philip the fourth. The fourth.
Okay, the fourth. Okay.
Who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians, which is where you get that great photo of Alexander with the cheetah or the leopard print on him, you know, bowing, you know, Darius.
Yeah, and if you watch, they'll show you that in the movie Alexander with Brad. What is it, Brad Pitt?
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, they show you the first scene. Is this what we're reading right here? Okay, go ahead.
Had smitten Darius, king of the Persians.
And this goes back to the book of Daniel. It told you how the Medo-Persians were going to be taken down.
The 8th or 9th.
Yeah, it's the 8th and the 7th.
And the 7th.
And the 7th.
7 it tells you too.
But the 8th chapter goes into it about the horn, the goat. Yeah. You know, go ahead.
Darius, king of the Persians. Yeah, the ram. Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
Yep. And the reason throughout the scripture says the king of the Medes and the Persians is because the Medes and the Persians were two different kingdoms, but they were one. You know, and then ultimately the Persians were greater than the Medes. Go ahead.
So skipping down to verse 7. So
which was Darius. We began with Darius, the first or the second actually. Second, I believe it was the second. Yep.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 7. So Alexander the Great reigned 12 years and then died. And you can look that up in history and you're going to see that he only reigned 12 years. Okay?
And then he died at a really young age, man.
32.
30, it tells you in the scriptures. It tells you because he came into power when he was 32. It was 32 because he ruled for 12 years. And he came into power when he was 20.
Okay.
So it was 32. He died at 32. Go ahead.
Verse
See,
8.
This is why it's important to know history, so you can be like, damn, the scripture says it. Here it is that Esau tells you it, and through his history, secular history, and then the scripture verify. Well, no, Esau verifies it, with his nonsense, and the scriptures told you about it, because the truth comes from the Bible, not from the devil. And Esau, Edom, and his books that he changes every year. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And his servants bear rule everyone in his place.
And his servants, meaning his generals, right? It was originally five, ended up being four.
Okay.
Two of them were the main ones, Ptolemy and Seleucid. Yep. And that they go into the wars of Syria. Yep. That was between the Ptolemaic Empire and the Seleucid Empire. Go ahead.
Yep.
And that's history. And the second answer.
Cleopatra was near the end of it.
Cleopatra was from the Ptolemaic line.
Yeah,
She was the daughter of
she
the
got
Ptolemaic
sent up
line.
to Cassandra to try to
Yeah.
cancel that
Try to
shit.
woo him.
But then she turned against her father.
Yeah, which that goes to show you that there was more than one. There was because what Julius Caesar, he ended up getting with Cleopatra, and then what? They had a son. That son was put to death as a baby, and then Mark Antony, one of his Julius Caesar's generals, got with her, man. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And after his death,
After whose death? Alexander. Or the Greek. Go ahead.
they all put crowns upon themselves.
Yeah, they all got their own kingdoms, their own kingdoms. Yeah. So we had a Seleucid kingdom, and
What's the emperors, or what were the generals of Alexander? The generals.
Any of them?
Okay. Any brothers know the emperors of Alexander?
Ptolemy, Cassandra, Seleucid, and yes, like
There's one
and
more.
Antigonus.
yeah,
Antigonus,
Which is the one that got casted
he got
out.
casted
Yeah.
away. He didn't last too long.
Yeah, they all came in cahoots and got him the boot.
and then to tell you in Esdras, the region where the Ptolemies were, Antiochus wanted to rule that region.
Wait, well,
Yeah,
that's
before-
Antiochus came from what empire? Or what line did Antiochus come from? Brothers know that one?
Nah,
Tigers.
Antiochus the fourth.
Antiochus.
Antiochus, Salakia.
It's pronounced Antiochus.
It's
in the
Antiochus.
yeah.
No, because you had Antigonus, Antigonus.
Yeah, he was
and
kinda-
Antiochus.
I was
Those
getting
are-
mixed
those
up,
are
yeah.
separate-
Yeah, but I'm
those are
saying
separate
Antiochus. Some
No,
of the
but
Greek
he
scholars
meant
pronounce it Antiochus.
Antiochus the
Yeah.
fourth.
Yeah, yeah.
Which line did that come from? Brothers know?
Seleucid. The
Seleucid Empire. That was the ones that were going against Ptolemy.
Antigonus was the fifth general.
Kinda.
Yeah, so. But
the Seleucid Empire basically took over the Syrian part.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
above Egypt.
Yeah.
That was
That's why
Syrian
that
wars.
was, you mentioned
Right.
the Syrian wars.
Yeah.
Who were the Syrian wars with? The Seleucid line and the Ptolemaic line.
Okay.
All right. But read that Revelation 6 because it's gonna show what it showed there. This is gonna prove what we just been talking about, how they were fighting amongst each other. The brother read it.
And real quick, while the brother gets that, this is probably the apostle saying you got to get into the history, man.
Yep.
You got to get to know the scriptures. You got to understand the history, because how you going to read the scriptures, but you don't know what time period they're talking about, who they talking about.
And obviously you ain't gonna know everything.
Yeah,
But you gotta try to get something.
Go ahead, up.
Yeah, get that. Yeah, Revelation 6 and 4.
Yeah,
Good job.
go ahead, up.
This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the third seal,
Oh wait, so like, was it maybe it was you that read it? That they fought one another.
somebody read it, you say?
That's
That it was
Second
five-
Ezra's, I think.
Nah, somebody read it earlier.
That they should kill one another?
Yeah. Did you read that?
Yeah, I just read that.
Okay, read it again.
This is Revelation chapter 6 and 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat there on to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another.
They should kill one another. Not only did he go around killing the earth, the inhabitants of the earth, but they were going around killing each other, man. Yeah, you had again the Syrian wars, okay, and you had many wars between them.
They took out Antigonus.
That was the war. They were killing each other, man. They set each other up with the okie doke, man. This is history. All right, and the Bible correlates all this history, man. All that history you learn in the school, getting bamboozled with. Guess what? The Lord told us about this. All right, the scriptures tell you about the history, man. But what? The Bible's really only for the elect, anyway.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Back in First Maccabees chapter 1, I'm gonna read verse 8 again. And his servants bear rule, everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. Yep. So did their sons after them.
Because you got a question?
No. I heard that.
Okay,
I heard
okay.
the apostle talking about
The sons after them, because you had this Seleucid, which Seleucid, Ptolemy, Cassander, those were titles. Okay, those were like the names, so to say. But you had Ptolemy, Ptolemy. You had Antiochus the Fourth from the Seleucid line. Those were all titles. Cleopatra. Okay, she was a Ptolemy. She was from the line of Ptolemy. So Ptolemy, those were all lines, so to say. Go ahead.
Real quick, Salaki, I just want, just to make it clarify what you said. In other words, Cleopatra was the Edomite.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, all this black power shit talking about Cleopatra. No, she was an Edomite. She may have looked dark because they were mixing, but she was an Edomite. It's written in stone that she was from the Ptolemaic line. So,
and the prime example of that is Tia and Tamara from the Disney, because that father is an Edomite. Same thing with Lady Kravitz.
Oh, yeah.
So real quick, I'm gonna read First Maccabees chapter 1. I'm gonna read First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 8 again. Somebody get it on the camera.
Yeah, you got it.
You got it? Okay, kind of. I'm gonna get First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 8 again, and this is gonna be a question for you, Nicole. It says, "And his servants bear rule, everyone in his place." This is talking about Alexander. So now I'm gonna go.
His service.
I'm gonna
apostle
go.
also said that it was me. That's what he was saying.
I'm gonna jump.
This is history. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump over to Daniel chapter 7, and any brother who knows the answer, but with short. This is Daniel chapter 7 verse 6. And after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard. What's that leopard talking about?
Let me get it.
Oh, select Daniel chapter 7, and I'm at verse 6. That leopard's talking about Alexander the Great, the Greek Empire.
It touched the ground.
Yeah, he was known for that, wearing the leopard helmet. So
We stated that earlier. So you got to pay attention. We just stated earlier that he was known for that leopard. He put on that leopard skin and he went against the Darius. We stated that earlier. So verse 6 it says, "After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl."
Those 4 wings.
And what are those 4 wings that represent? Do you know? Any of you brothers know other than Abad?
That's that's 4 generals.
The 4 generals.
I already know, brother. You over there waiting with your hands behind your back.
I know it's one hand behind my back, man.
The four generals, man. Because notice it didn't say 5 though.
Yep.
But originally there was 5. Antigonus was one of his main men. If you go into the history, that's one of the men that rose up with him. Grew up with him. But look, the other generals weren't having it. They killed him. They took him out. And then they continued to divide themselves, just like today. You have the Russians fighting with the Americans. It's the same thing. UK fighting with America. It's the same thing. It ain't nothing new under the sun. It happened before, and it's happening again. And this is going to be the downfall of the Edomites. Yes, you red Hebrew Edomites.
Now it said in 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 8, it said, "And his servants bear rule, everyone in his place." Where were those places? It talked about the 4 wings. Where were those places?
They went into Egypt.
What the scriptures say? The scriptures talk about 4 winds of the earth. What is that talking about?
Basically.
Yeah, the 4 winds.
The 4 winds and the 4 wings. It's talking about directions. What are those 4 wings? You know? brothers up?
Well, what
the known world at that point in
Yeah,
time.
exactly. It was
Basically,
the whole known world.
known
Yeah,
world.
because
The
they
north,
didn't have
the
and
south,
it
the
wasn't
east,
the
and the
whole,
west.
it wasn't the whole known world. It was the kingdom of Greek, because you had the Mongoloids having the kingdom, but the Bible don't speak about it. That's secular history. It was happening, yes, but it's irrelevant. But it's talking about the kingdom that Alexander the Greek set up. Okay, they said Alexander the Greek, he conquered all the way up to where? Where did he go? How far west did he go?
Hurry up.
Or no, how far east did he go?
The mountains.
Oh yeah, let's get the map. Let's get the map. Okay, Asia is a continent, not a country. Let's get
the four winds
like
of the
Dora the
earth.
Explorer, map.
Bring it in the kingdom.
So where Alexander the Greek, he reached his empire was to where? India. Because what? Where did they stop? His general ship saying, look, we ain't finna make it out here. These mountains, what they call it? The Himalayas. They were like, look, we're not finna make that. And he kept consistent on going, and they started losing a lot of men. That's where they stopped. So this, not the whole of India, but this is where Alexander the Greek made it to. He had this area, Asia Minor, going up to Italy, parts of Romania. Oh, you know, this area from Italy to India, Egypt, going down to Egypt, parts of Saudi Arabia. This right here was the kingdom of the Greeks, the Greek Empire.
And if I might also add, yeah, you're right. He did take over Italy because you also had the Greco-Roman Empire because it merged into the Romans. Right.
Hey, Bubba Shark, bring that back. Because you had because it's talked about the four winds. The four wings in Daniel chapter 7. So when you had the Daniel chapter 7, Ptolemy ruled what empire?
I don't know. That's me that I stayed out of.
Ptolemy, he was one of the four generals that survived. He owned basically this region out here, south of basically Israel split in half down to Egypt. So that's the south. That's one wing. Then you had Seleucid, who basically owned the west over here. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq,
Israel.
all that area was the west. Then you had Lacenaicus, which is was Lacenaicus the north or the east or the west?
You got that
He was the
And then you got Cassander after that one.
Cassander was the far. He was Greece area. Cassander was the east.
Okay, Lacenaicus is the northwest.
Lacenaicus was basically Asia Minor.
Yeah, this area up here.
Yeah.
This area up here.
This area up here, and then you had Cassander, which was Greece area, Asia Minor, Turkey.
I
Turkey
mean,
is
it wasn't like blocks, you know. The land wasn't
Hey,
broken
that's
into
beautiful.
blocks.
Hey, that is beautiful because you're right. Because I noticed y'all didn't notice. I noticed y'all that y'all didn't mention the East. Because a movie called The Forbidden Palace, where Moab, they've been ruling all the way up until like the early 1900s. That's when the British went and colonized them. So I noticed y'all didn't mention the East, so they never had no part of that.
Because even though it happened, the Bible is about what's important.
Yeah.
They're irrelevant. You know, that empire, the Great Wall of China was being built during it. All of this is happening. But it was irrelevant.
It's
it don't
irrelevant.
matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter to prophecy. It don't matter to the Lord.
That history heavy
You know?
though, man.
Even though there were jakes, don't get me wrong, there were jakes among them. Because what Israel scattered among all nations, there were jakes out there, but that's irrelevant. That's not important to our salvation or the history of the scriptures.
That's right. That's right.
Go ahead.
So that's important history. All right. So First Maccabees chapter 1, back in verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bear rule.
So he ruled 12 years and died. He died at the age of 32.
And
if a brother want to fact check it, I'm pretty sure he ruled at 20, died at 32.
Who?
Alexander the Great. Go ahead.
Verse 8, and his servants bear rule, everyone in his place. That's talking about those generals.
Yep.
They originally it was 5, but then one of them, they were like, this nigga ain't shit. Let's get rid of this dude.
In which we read that in Revelation chapter 6.
Yep.
That they killed one another, you know?
Yep. Whenever a brother got that. And everyone in his place, talking about the north,
you got that one,
the
Don?
south, the east, and the west. That's all the places that they ruled. They all got divided. It was 4 different kingdoms. That's talking about, going back to that Daniel chapter 7, talking about the 4 wings on that third beast. Go ahead,
You
Doc.
just read that when he got into rulership.
It says,
He was born in Pella in 356 BC, preceded his father Philip II to the throne at the age of 20.
No, he's 20, so that would make him 32. Or maybe 33, who knows? Yeah. It was nonetheless he came in at the age of 20 and he died 12 years later.
It says, look, just going down a little bit, it says, he spent most of his ruling years as an unprecedented military campaign through Asia and Northwest Africa.
Yep.
By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires in the ancient world.
Why do you think they named a city in Egypt called Alexandria?
Alexandria. Yep.
Which was where they kept all the scrolls, the library of Alexandria, which was burnt to the ground to delete all the information on Edomites. Really.
Yep.
They got it captured. He did die at age 32.
There you go. It tells you. Yeah. See, so the scriptures is true, man. The scriptures plainly tell you, and then Esau, just puts out articles and whatnot to verify that the scriptures is true, man. But then he'll be the same demon to tell you that the scriptures ain't true.
Right. You're absolutely right. That about the book.
Damn, I had a book, but I ain't got it.
Go ahead.
So back in 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 9, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, sold their sons after them.
Mm-hmm. And again, their sons, Seleucid. He had sons of Antiochus, Epiphanes, and
Ptolemy the second, Ptolemy the third,
which were just titles. Ptolemy Soter, which that's where what's his name?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus comes from, which
Serapis Christus.
Serapis Christus. Christus came from Ptolemaic line.
Yeah, because Ptolemy Soter, Soter means savior.
Yeah, savior. Which
He
was
was
the
basi-
father.
he-
Which
he's
was the
basi-
first. He was the first.
He's basically calling himself God, so he named this. He made an image after his son, and that was the son of the Most High, which is Serapis Christus. So that's where that image
With the
of
flower pot.
That's where that image of Jesus Christ came from. From the line of the
Ptolemies.
The Ptolemies. Okay. So
Go ahead. You got it. Yeah, you got it.
So verse 9, and after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, sold their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied on the earth.
That was the point that we were getting to, that peace was taken from the earth. This is when the peace was taken from the earth, really, because evils were multiplied on the earth. Through what? Through these devils, the four servants of Alexander the Greek, his generals, the different kingdoms that were set up.
Homosexuality started getting spread.
What chapter and verse was that?
That was verse 1 and verse 9.
Yeah, because his father, so like Antiochus, that Antiochus is Antiochus the Fourth. His father was known as Antiochus the Great, because what he did, he actually did allow us to go out and have our own.
But this was before him, though. That wicked root was Antiochus the Fourth. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, 'cause his father was before him, so after his father came Antiochus the Fourth, which basically said, "Fuck everything my father said. This is what I want you to do." He forced us to forbid all of our commandments.
Yeah, because he was the one that he did away with the temple. He started sacrificing wickedness at the temple.
And pretty much he came back in that spirit of Nimrod.
Yeah.
Let's all be one people, Everybody leave their customs, leave their nationality, and come together. And that's what is happening today again. Everybody want to be Americans. We're all one. We all bleed red.
Yeah, with the human race.
Yeah, we're the human race. That's nothing new. That goes back to Antiochus the Fourth, all right, which came from the Seleucid line, one of the generals. Well, keep reading on that. Actually, keep reading on that. Yeah, because it tells you. Yeah, it tells you about. It singles him out, and then the rest of the book of Maccabees speaks on this devil.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root.
Yeah, that wicked root is Antiochus the Fourth, or Antiochus the Fourth.
Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
And those are facts. Those are history.
Yeah, where it says surnamed Epiphanes, that's where it pinpoints the fourth.
Yeah, and his surname. See, that's why he was surnamed. All right, it was surnamed Epiphanes.
Son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome.
Which that's facts too. That's history. You can look it up.
Yep.
This man was
why
was he a hostage in Rome? Because he was under I believe the Cassander, lineage.
Yep, because they were ruling at that time over there. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
The kingdom of the Greeks, which began around 300, 350, around there, BC, roughly. Not an exact date, but.
Verse 11, in those days, went there out of Israel wicked men. And this is when you started to have a bunch of coon-ass leaders become the priests.
What you see today.
Yeah, the
It's
same
just-
sellouts,
just
a bunch of
reincarnated,
sellouts.
Yeah, just reincarnated.
So the same thing as
Same shit that's happening today.
happening again.
All
Exactly.
under the same demons, same
Yep.
devil.
Reincarnation.
And we're gonna watch. You're gonna see.
And that's why the Seleucid line, and really the two main generals, the two main lines that came out of Alexander were the Seleucid line and the Ptolemaic line. The other ones ended up washing away. They ended up getting taken over by Jake. All right, and Japhet. Japhet was in that land, but they ended up washing away until the Romans, the Edomite Romans came. Go ahead.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen."
Yeah, that's what you got in these churches, man. That's what you got among the leaders of our people. Hey, let's go do this. It's leading you to death and destruction, man.
Right.
The same thing you see today, man.
Well, let me finish it. It says, "And make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow."
Yeah, because what? Because if you go contrary to this society right now, you're gonna have much sorrow. You ain't gonna be living it up like the rest of these people. Living that YOLO life. You're gonna be living in sorrow, so to say. I mean, that's what they were saying. Look, if we since we have left them, we going contrary to what the Greeks are saying, to what Antiochus is saying. That we living in sorrow. We getting butchered in the streets. Because back then they could put you in the streets with no questions asked. Ain't no investigation gonna be done about it. They ain't gonna go to trial. They would just kill you.
A good example is Daniel. What was that? Chapter 6, talking about Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, when before they got tossed into the furnace. What the people was writing them out? Oh, they ain't following you.
Exactly.
What you said.
Exactly.
What
And that was before this.
Exactly.
So and this is when wickedness or evil is multiplied on the earth. So how much more?
Yep. Exactly. So that was verse 11. It says verse 12. So this device pleased them well.
This is advice. Their plans, what they had coming, what they implemented on the earth. Okay, go ahead. Which was to make all nations one, which I believe it goes into
Hey,
that.
you jump to verse 41 real quick. Just read verse 41. That's
Well, you got it.
First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Yeah, all should be one people. And what kingdom was this? The kingdom of you got the Middle East. All right, where Israel was dwelling at that time. Right,
Middle East,
the Southern Kingdom. All right,
Syria, Iran.
yeah, Syria, Iran, all the Iraq. Yeah, and you had other nations in there, Hamites in there,
Which is what? Babylon.
Babylon,
Which is where Babylon, Nineveh.
Syria,
Yep.
all that region. Yep. Go ahead.
Well, that was it on that. Yeah,
Okay. So 1 Maccabees chapter 1, back in verse 12 again. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem.
Yeah, so you had the gymnasium. All right, you had and what they had license from the. Read that again. They had license from the king, man. They were given permission to do wickedness, man.
Okay.
Hey, the scriptures tell you that the Lord didn't give us a license to sin, but the heathen did.
I like
What is that? What does that word gymnasium mean? What is it?
Naked.
Naked. Yeah.
And
It's
all-
gymnos, I believe it
And
is.
also, I want to add too. They also had an island called Lesbos, where they would take all the girls at. Where you get the word lesbian from?
They are still there today. They was in the news not too long ago going bankrupt.
See, Beirut.
So wait. So it's not politically incorrect to call people lesbians. That's just citizens of the island of
Lesbos.
Lesbos. That's what you call them out there. They lesbians. That's where they get that term from.
Because they became carpet munchers after so long.
That's how you know Rome is America all over again. Because when they when they created the EU or the NATO, they came up with the Rome Treaty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Treaty of Rome. Treaty of Rome. Salaka. Yep. Go ahead, Salaka.
And this is all very important information that brothers have to pay attention to, man. When you watching these videos, man, take notes, man. Really pay attention to what's really going on, because this is your history, man. Like there's a saying in the world, how you gonna get to where you go if you don't know where your history, man? If you
How
don't
can
know
you
where
go
you
where
come
you?
from.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know where.
If you don't know where you're going from, how you gonna know where you're going, man?
Yeah, bring it out. You gotta have it done. So Genesis.
Because this is like
Reincarnation.
This is really where Esau gets it. Because Esau gets all his shit from the Hamites, the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the original Babylonians. Okay, because during the time of Nimrod, those were Hamites. When Babylon was established again after the Syrians, those were Assyrians. Okay, they were not Hamites, or they were Assyrians. Go ahead.
Right. So Genesis chapter 11, start at the top, verse 1.
Snap
Go
it.
ahead.
And the whole earth was of one
Yeah,
language
yeah,
and of one speech.
Spirit so heavy, you ain't even know.
And it came to
I
pass.
just checked.
Hey, and real quick, it's the scripture said the whole earth was of one language and one speech. What is Esau Edom trying to do today? English is the language spread across the whole planet Earth. Ibad always brings it out. To fly a plane anywhere in the planet Earth, you can be a Korean ass dude to the heart. You want to fly a plane? Guess what? You got to learn English.
Hey, same with currency. You want to
If
trade?
you want to trade,
Yeah.
you gotta know
Because
English.
they letting you know that we run
Everything.
all the airways. Like, no matter what nation you are, all right, we run the whole airways. So you got to learn English. So
Hey.
when we come up, on your little intercom in there, hey, you are an international. You need to be able to speak English and
Hey, well, if you go
respond to them.
to
You know what I
China or Japan, any other country, they'll have their language. Like if you go to the airport, they'll have their language, and then right under it'll be in English. Not Korean, not Swahili. It'll be in English.
And then even if they do have other ones, they gonna always have English right there at the
Always.
bottom.
That's a standard-
Always.
that's a standard
That's
language.
always be there.
Standard language.
Yep.
So go ahead up.
So Genesis chapter 11, verse 2.
And Salak, real quick, Salak. This goes to show you, man, that all things are reincarnated, man. Everything's coming back. Going back to Ecclesiastes, man. There is nothing new under the earth. That which was is that which shall be. Okay? Go ahead,
So Genesis chapter 11 and verse 2. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven.
Yeah, so say like we read earlier that he exalted himself into the heavens. He want to be as the Most High. Well, this is that same philosophy. They want to reach the heavens. Because they're going after these pagan worship. They're going after these different gods. Because the Hamites, everything that Greek philosophy, Greek mythology, the Romans, this all comes back to this Hamitic customs, man. This is why they wanted to reach the heavens. Because what did the Greeks say? What's that? Where the gods live? According to the Greeks, damn, what's
Not
it
Van
called?
Halen. Van Halen?
No.
That's another.
Damn,
Valhalla?
where Zeus lives? What they call it? Damn. There's a word for it. It's escaping me right now.
Not Utopia.
Damn, it's escaping me.
Damn, I'm
We
curious
gotta
now.
get that. Where the
curious.
Greek gods lived. Where was it? This brother knows.
Olympus?
Olympia?
Mount Olympus.
That's what it is.
Mount Olympus,
So
okay,
what?
so I can-
Why
damn.
were the Hamites building a tower? Because they wanted to reach what their version of Mount Olympus was, which now you see where the Greeks got that from. Because that's Greek mythology. But they got it from the Hamites.
Because Zeus. Oh, wait a
You
minute.
see? That's just shit that they got from the Hamites, man.
Hey, brother, and
You know?
you know what? They show that in the Disney movie Hercules.
That's
But they all
what
the same
that's
God.
Greek
Yeah,
mythology.
Yeah, it shows that Zeus, and you got Hercules.
Mount Olympus.
They all the same thing.
That's
It's
how
just
it,
the
well,
name.
you know,
That's Egypt. Hercules, that's Egyptian
it's
god.
Egyptian
Exactly.
god. Yeah,
They show in that game God of War.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Right,
You gotta
right.
fight to go climb the Mount Olympus.
Yeah. And it's the same thing.
Fuck
Like
no.
what's
Man,
what's it called? Ishtar.
Yeah.
Which goes back to Semiramis. That the Greeks got that from the Hamites, Cushites.
Cushites,
Okay. So this is what this is going to, the Mount Olympus, all of that, which is they're going through that philosophy again. They want to mount themselves up as the Most High. You know, that's why they were building this tower. But it goes even more than just going up to a tower, you know.
Okay, because it's spiritual that we're talking about this, because today I got off of work a little earlier and I went home, and my mother, she said at home she's watching those alien on the History channels.
Yeah.
And they showing the obelisk in Egypt, and then they showing it, and she sees it. She's like, "Why did they have that in America?" It's the same thing I said. I didn't even want to say that. And I was like, "It's called an obelisk." Just to let you know, it's called an obelisk. But see, that's how you know that this nation, America, is going back all the way back to not Egypt, but going back to
all the kingdoms, really.
All kingdoms, even further. Yeah, going back to Babylon.
The melting
Babylon,
pot.
yeah.
One more thing to say. That's how you know who Esau Edom is. You go to Malachi. Because the Lord said, I've laid your heritage waste to the dragons of the field. They don't have no heritage.
Yeah.
That culture vulture.
That's Esau.
Yeah,
That's
And identity thieves.
Right.
You know?
Hey, I was gonna
What?
say,
The original.
when you look at the pillars on the buildings of Congress and stuff like the White House and things like that, man,
Goes back to Eden.
those same pillars go back to what? Roman pillars, right? The Romans stole their shit from where? The Grecians. They had the Grecian pillars, man. Where the Grecians steal theirs from? The Egyptian pillars, man. All right, so look, you go all the way back to back to back. It's the same thing going all the way back, man. They don't really have nothing new. They had the same way of almost the same way of government and things like that. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? It's all the same way, man. Yeah, that's some scholars.
Hey, and they just give it a different name.
A different name, same guys, different names.
Recycling
Man.
the wickedness.
Yeah,
It's like go ahead.
That's why they got different name: Ishtar, Guadalupe, Virgin Mary. All those different names, but the same bitch.
Yeah, it's like Hercules and
Same demon.
Poseidon and all them. They got different names.
Same
different,
demon, just different name.
Horus, Jesus Christ, Serapis Christus.
And because really, you know, people like to say, oh, well, the Lord God has many names. No, demons have many names. All right, you can call the demons this and that, and it's because it's the same demon. You know. You wanted to say something?
Oh, no, I just want to say, just like every nation has a story of a flood.
Right.
All right, you know every nation has,
In every text.
yeah, and all it is just go back to Shem, Ham, and Japheth. You know what I mean? It's just we as a nation of Israel, we were set up last, so we were
After the flood.
Yeah, so we were the last person to write about it.
That's why Esau ain't got no story to
Yeah.
flood. He came the same time we came.
Yeah,
You know.
So I just wanted to say that real quick.
Okay. You finish it?
Genesis chapter 11 and verse 4. And they said, go to, let us build a city and a tower.
And what's spiritually today is America. America is where everybody comes together. Everybody wants to be one. We're all one, hold hands and sing Kumbaya. That's America. Go ahead.
Whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make.
Hey, real quick, I got a quick reset. Just sit there. What's the read part again? Reach to heaven.
Con.
Did y'all get the
Top
one?
again.
in
Genesis
Maccabees?
11 chapter 4. Slakia, chapter 11 verse 4. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven.
So hey, going into let's build a city and a tower, or that city whose top shall reach into heaven, right? Your brothers are going into how this is all being reincarnated again. Now we read this a little bit earlier today in Revelation 18. I'm gonna read it again. This is Revelation 18 and 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven.
Yeah, that's America, man. America's sins have reached unto heaven. Because what? This is that city. And this is that city. This is they're trying to perfect that city right here, man. Because Esau, again, he's an identity theft. He tried to take it from the Hamites because he's not original. The only thing he's originally about is
Wickedness.
murder, death, and every destruction, the man of perdition.
He's perfect at his blessing.
Exactly. That's all he's original about. The only thing original about Esau is that red skin. Okay, go ahead.
It says, Revelation 18 and 5, it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. We read this earlier. Let me just read 6. Reward her even as she has rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double.
Yeah. So you can go back on that, brother.
Con. Going back to verse 4. Read it again. Genesis 11 verse 4. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven.
Yeah, that's why they got the World Trade Center. The tallest building in the earth.
And
They call
really,
it the
hey,
One World Trade Center.
Yeah, I was
One
gonna say the
World
one world. Now they did merge the two buildings together. It's one on top
If
of
that's
another.
not evident of what's going on, then you
That was their plan the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
They're spiritual because they sacrificed 3,000 people so they can destroy both towers to
And put it
merge
into
one.
Yeah.
And they
Esau,
call it the
boy, he clever with his wickedness, bro.
1776.
1776.
They call it the World Trade Center. They got all these different nations with these different tongues.
Well, that's the tabernacle
right there.
Where's the head of the where's the head of the UN at?
Right there.
The head of the UN is in New York, right up the block from
And
there.
they call that the capital of the world, right?
I'll be honest.
That's what they call it, the Empire State. But New York City is technically the capital of the world because that's where the UN is headed out of.
Yeah, to make it. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's the province of the capital of their entire empire. This main, like DC, is the province
Yeah, it's
of America.
part of the three
but in the Empire
thrones.
State over there, where New York is, that's the province of the whole world.
Yeah.
Because it's the Empire State.
Everybody
Trade
wants.
Center.
Where do people go to make it? They go to New
New
York,
York.
or they go to LA, but mostly they go to New York. They want to go on Broadway and this and that.
New York
They want to
Stock
go to the Wall Street. Where you gotta go? You gotta go to New York.
Well, again, that's where the UN is up there. You know,
Yeah,
that's the trade center of the whole world.
All the
Everything comes in
UN
there.
meetings. All right, that summit that's gonna be taking place here in September. Where's it gonna be? The UN summit. It's gonna be in New York. Okay, which is all of the nations coming together. Even North Korea. All right, Iran. They're gonna have people in there.
Representatives.
That goes to show you this
at
is,
least.
you know, yeah, they're gonna have representatives. in there.
Ambassadors.
Ambassadors, you know. So it goes to show you that they all in cahoots. They ain't gonna have no Negroes, so-called Negroes or Latinos. Powwow chief blackface ain't gonna be in there. Okay?
They gonna be the janitors and shit if they.
Yeah, exactly. If that.
And you know what
If
it goes
they
back
do.
to? That goes back to Psalms 83.
Exactly.
Con.
But
Confederate
keep on that.
against
Back in verse 4, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord Yahweh said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. Yep. And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do.
Yeah, so all these wicked nations come together. Yeah, the enterprise, man, the cahoots, the confederacy.
Hey, speaking of the same thing, man, that's what you got right now. Babylon or America is heading all these other nations, man. All right, you see what they pushing out homosexuality? Now look at all the other nations pushing out homosexuality, man. They pushing the RFID chip.
Speaking the same thing.
Yeah, they pushing this RFID chip, this 5G network. Now this is what you see going on with America and China with the Huawei thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But that's all they doing is basically trying to say, get you people to sit here and decide which side of the fence you want to jump on to get you to the same end all be all, man. Oh, we got to do it before they get over here, so we'll have the biggest and the best thing, man. Saying hastening bringing in this RFID chip, man. Basically speaking all the same language the whole planet Earth is speaking, man.
Hey, brother, did you get that message I had sent you?
I didn't get time to read it all. I seen the title about the 5G starting up.
Verizon,
Yeah.
Verizon got the first 5G hotspot.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. The title of it, yeah.
And also too, like you said, you know, they all going to the same, you know, same direction. You know, each side is trying to get there faster. Because remember, Elder Tahar, he did a video, I think it's last year, that China gonna be like the first one to no brothers remember that video for the chip, the cashless society.
got that,
You know, they
started,
moved,
because they're the ones.
you know?
China is huge on that. Where you take the phone and it got that little mark on the product.
ghost tools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what they call that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's heavy out there.
So everybody, you know, like the brother said, you know, they all trying to get there. It's just, you know, who's trying to get there first.
Incrementally.
know?
Ultimately, the whole world's gonna
Yeah,
be on that
exactly.
level. But
Exactly.
yeah, you see what it is.
Yeah.
It's funny, they racing to the end of their destruction, man. They trying to get there fast.
Yeah.
See who's gonna win first.
Yeah, the time is short.
All that is just test runs.
Yeah. Because America is really where they want to implement it at.
You gotta get the minds of the people.
Because as soon as America is implemented in America, everybody else is gonna follow suit, right?
Yeah.
Just like what brother mentioned, the homosexuality, all this other nonsense. Everybody follows after America, man. That's why they've been the scripture, Revelation 18 or 17. It says that the nations have been drunk from drinking of the cup of the wine of fornication, man. All right. You know, so for another brother when they come up, you know, I want to give all praise, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kodash, to the elder apostles, great millstone, Shalom. Let another brother come up.
Hurry up.
And my sword, brother, was shot. Wow. Alright, shalom, shalom. We give all the glory praise to you, how about Shem, how Shai, about Shem, Dash. Double to the apostle, great days, all that. Seeking the citation, make sure your brothers be some blessed at 1:30. Also, facing the 4 points. Alright. Pretty much. The spirit, I'm talking to I'll talk to some of the brothers, man. And we was getting ready to come to camp. And as we were on our way to come to camp, and on our way to camp, one of the brothers said, look up in the sky. So we looked up in the sky, and we saw this big circle. It was like a perfect, first you had like a group of clouds coming this way. But it was like a half moon or a half circle that was in the sky. It was a perfect cloud though. So I was thinking about the chariots. Yeah, man, it was beautiful. Coming out, well, matter of fact, well, Ashi left. Ashi,
he got the video. I got the video.
Yeah, so it was so beautiful. And today, earlier this morning, I had the video on about let not your heart be troubled. Matter of fact, let's open up with St. John 14 chapter. Yeah, about let your heart not be troubled. You know, because all these things that are happening today in the society is supposed to occur. This how you know. Okay, come. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna play it right now. This is really gonna be our salvation. You see it? It's perfect.
Yeah, you're gonna go. You can see it's a perfect circle.
Perfect circle.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. He's a mug.
It's like a chariot, man. Come. It's like a chariot.
What the heck?
Oh, Lord, y'all about Shem out Shai. You know?
Call
so you give me St. John chapter 14, verse 1. And can you please give me Psalms 104 by Book Shah from the top?
This is the book of St. John, chapter 14, verse 1. This is the words of Yahweh Shai. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me.
It said, let not your heart be troubled. Can you give me Matthew 24, verse 4? Read it one more time by Book Shah.
St. John 14 and 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me.
Right, so don't let your minds be troubled because of the things that are occurring right now and the things that are to come. That's why we have something that's the comforter. Because we have to be the ones to come out to profess these words to the people that you need to repent and flee for the nation of Israel. If not, then you're going to perish, you're going to die. That's the end all be all. That's why we in captivity under Esau Edom. So don't let your mind be troubled by all the atrocities to come, because these atrocities to come is for the 2/3 and also for the heathens. Alright? Read it one more time.
St. John 14 and 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me. And that's the words of Yahweh Shai speaking. You say you believe in the Heavenly Father. You say you believe in the Heavenly Father, you also then you believe in the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son.
This is Matthew chapter 24, start at verse 6. Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Right, so all these things must come to pass. People losing their jobs. I mean, look at the Northern Kingdom right now. They're over there catching hell. They have them in cages like dogs at a pet store, at PetSmart or something.
Yeah, I saw a video on that. Giving them malnutrition food, telling them the sink don't work, so they drinking out of the toilet and they have canker sores in their mouths. Children being separated from their, they're sleeping on the concrete for months.
Yeah.
All that shit. Northern Kingdom catching hell, bro.
Yeah,
you know?
bro, for real. And guess what? Through the Spirit, who was the first kingdom for the Most High to expel? Northern. So it's happening right now. So it's on its way coming to the Southern Kingdom.
Okay.
He's doing the same thing. There's nothing new under the sun. So Northern going through the same thing that the Southern Kingdom gonna have to go through. But at the same time, for the elect, we shouldn't be troubled by that. It's supposed to come. It's supposed to happen.
Hey, Ephraim got them riots going on over there in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the brother from Hawaii had put up a video on that. He did a video on that.
Yeah.
All over the world, man. You got that from me?
Still got it.
Yeah. You want to talk about yourself?
St. John 14 and 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High.
Right.
Believe also in me.
Right.
In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so,
right,
I would have told you.
Right.
I go to prepare a place for you.
He said, in my Father's house there are many mansions. All right, in my father's house. Can you please get? Can you please give me 1 Kings 8:27? He said, in my father's house, we're gonna find out where the heavenly Father dwell at, and it's gonna go right back to the premise of showing that video of that cloud that looked like a chariot, because that's why we shouldn't be troubled. You seeing all these signs of all these chariots? They want to call them UFOs. They go right back to Amos 9:8. The eyes of the Lord God are upon this sinful kingdom. First and foremost, a nation of Israel, but now you got a Babylon America. Okay? You got it for me? Yeah.
This is 1 Kings chapter 8, and verse 27. But will the Most High indeed dwell on the earth?
Right.
Behold, the heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain thee. How much less this house that I have built it.
So the heavenly Father is in the heavens of heavens. Did not Paul say I went to the third heaven? So when he said I go to my Father's house, in my Father's house there are many mansions. The same way Yahushua left, the same way he coming back. That's why he said, be ye not troubled. Keep going up in Matthew.
You need John?
I'm sorry, John.
Verse 14:3, John. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again.
Right, so he said, if I go to prepare a place for you, I'm going to come again. Going back to Acts, the 1st chapter. The same way he left, he coming back. And not like as a man. Go ahead, up.
He says, and if I prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive unto myself that where I am, there ye may be also.
So he said, receive unto myself that where I am, you may receive there also. That's why you shouldn't be troubled by these things to come. Yes, the Lord said you're gonna be like pilgrims in that day. The Lord said that you shall eat and drink, because he know the principles, the things that you need to survive in this society. The Most High knows the number of the hairs on your head. So you don't think you know when you get thirsty, when you get hungry, when you need rest? Same thing with Elijah. When Elijah slayed the 400 prophets, the 400 prophets of Baal, he ran and he was like, hey, he said, I'm no greater than my fathers. But Yahushua said that Elijah was greater than any man, he said Elijah was greater than any man that was born amongst women. But at the same time, we know that Elijah was John the Baptist. Come on, man. The Most High know that. And then what happened? The angel told him to rise up and eat. Elijah ate. Elijah feared him being destroyed by Jezebel. And he ate, man. So you have to have that same mentality. You can't be troubled. Yes, we got to go down the same path, because if you believe, the spirit of the prophet is what?
Subject to the prophet.
So we're going to have to go through the same traits we went through. And the apostles are the prophets as well. I mean, it's not a cakewalk, but at the same time, you got the spirit. As a matter of fact, we all got a sensual being. Let's leave it at that. Go ahead,
Verse 4. St. John 14, verse 4. And whither I go ye know, and the way ye know. Should I keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 5. Thomas saved unto...
If you got something, bring it up. So
oh, no, keep going. Just make sure we know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 5, it says, Thomas says unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way?
Come on, so, read it one more time, Baba Kushar.
Alright. Thomas says unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way?
Because all they know is that we come through our mother's womb, and we born. So like, where you going? They're like, where you finna go?
Right.
Cause you know, I mean, it's not written in scriptures, but the disciples, they never see somebody get taken up in the cloud. No. Going back to Acts the 1st chapter, like, where you going?
What do you mean? Yeah, we talking about.
I mean, what you mean? All right, go ahead up,
Verse 6. Yahushua saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
So no man goes to the Father but by him. And did not the brother just bring out First Kings, the 8th chapter, saying that the Heavenly Father's in the heavens of heavens. So when we talk about America gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear warheads, can you give me that sign about that show? The one on Sarah Connor. Or the rocket, the missile, anyone. It don't matter. So when they talk about America gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear warheads, how you think we're gonna be saved? The same way Yahushua was taken up out of here, okay, by chariots. He said, no man can go to the Father except by me. That's why Yahushua is the mediator between Yahweh and men. He died for our sins. Since I died for your sins, you got to come talk to me. Prime example, if you ever watched the movie Apocalypto, right? When they went and gather up all their own people, and when they brought them to the city, if you ever watch the subtitles, the dude wanted to talk to the father, but the father said, talk to my son. So in other words, you're doing business with me, but talk to my son. That's the same thing with the Heavenly Father. I've given him dominion over all things. You talk to my son and get to me.
As it is written, the Father judges no man, but have given all judgments unto his son.
The water.
St. John.
Ooh, that's a good one. That was your pop. Exactly. It's the same thing. So by his blood, we're going to be saved. But that goes back to you believing at the same time. And why he said, be ye not troubled? Because he came in the same fashion we came in. In the flesh. We all subject to this flesh. Elder Apostle Gabar made a video on this flesh is a prison. Even for Esau. Esau's in his kingdom, but then you got one of the Rothschild's daughters dating the Jade. You got one of the Rothschilds that had like 5 heart surgeries, triple bypass surgeries. You know what I'm saying? Being like 99 years old.
And then still died.
David Rockefeller, yeah, he had like 18 heart transplants and still died at the end of it.
It's a prison.
Because he has no power over the spirit.
Exactly.
When the Most High want to acquire that spirit, it got to go.
But the only reason why you see, exactly. Only reason why you see all this evil and negativity because the Heavenly Father's he's coming back to put righteousness on earth. The wicked not gonna give it up. That's why you have polar opposites. If you ever put, even if you try and put 2 different positives together on the magnet, you always gonna have that constant force. You can never get them 2 magnets and 2 positives together. It's gonna always fight against each other. There has to be a perfect balance. So wickedness that is on earth is gonna be uplifted, but this wickedness on earth is not gonna want to give up its reign, which is why we gotta go through this gauntlet. Go through that straight gate to get to the kingdom of heaven. Because Esau, he's not going to let up. He's not going to take his grip off the earth. Because the Lord gave it to him, now he want it back. Esau blasphemed the Holy Spirit. Didn't I just say in 2nd Esdras that the Most High is going to do what? They're going to fight against Satan and his angels? It's Esau and his angels. They're not going to give it up, so we got to go through that too. But at the same time, though, the house said, be ye not troubled. So we got to go through him to get through the Father. And he showed us everything that we had to do, man, to be saved. Prime example, you got something?
Yeah, something real quick, because you keep saying Yahushua said, be ye not troubled. This is Luke 21, verse 25, and I'm just going to 28. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, the stress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and waves roaring. All right, and as I said, there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. All right, we constantly see it all the time. Blood moons, all right, solar eclipses, so on and so forth. It says, and upon the earth, the stress of nations, man. All right, the stress of nations is that's always happening. Uproars of the people. All right, with perplexity, the sea and waves roaring, tsunamis. It was flooding over there. I forgot. Some heathen got hit with a flood recently. Maybe it might have been India, Elam.
Yeah, Elam.
Might have been Elam. It says men's heart failing them for fear. All right, so men's heart failing them for fear. I remember Ash had that vision. All right,
Yep.
dudes crying and stuff, man. All right, men's heart failing for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth.
And looking after those things, that are coming on the earth. That's what we're doing. As a matter of fact, Habakkuk 2 said it. He said they wrote the vision, and what we did, we ran with it. All right, that's what we're doing right now. Go ahead.
Yep. And looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud.
Coming in a cloud. Can you get it from me, Bubba Kishar?
104.
Yeah.
You want me to hold it?
Yeah, hold that real quick. Matter of fact, start from wherever you at and go back to that.
Luke 21 and 27. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
With power and great glory. Woo! Read on that.
This is Psalms 104. Start at the top, verse 1. Bless the Lord Yahweh, O my soul. O Yahweh, my power.
My power, go ahead.
Thou art very great. thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who covers thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain.
Right, so hey, the universe is constantly expanding. Go ahead. Many mansions in his father's house.
Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters.
Right.
Who maketh the clouds his chariot.
Who maketh the clouds his chariots. Now hold that. Read that one more time, Bible.
Con. This is Luke 21, verse 27. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
With power and great glory. And the brother just brought that out in Psalms 104.
Con.
He said he make the clouds his chariots. He's skipping through the clouds, man. That's the same power that Esau, Edom, who today is known as a Caucasian, so-called white man, who they were the Greco-Romans who actually had Yahweh crucified.
Con.
That's why they said he shall not meet thee as a man. Because as a man, you can do all those things to him. That's why it said in Hebrew, I think the 3rd chapter, he came as the seed of Abraham.
Con.
He came in the flesh. But this time he ain't coming in the flesh. He coming in the clouds.
If I may back you up, the scriptures say the first Adam was made of the flesh.
First
The second
Corinthians 15?
Yeah, kind of the second Adam is the last Adam is the Lord of heaven.
Hey, and did not he say I'm the Alpha and Omega?
I am the
the
Alpha
beginning
and
and
Omega,
the end.
beginning, Adam and the
See?
That's right. That's right.
Last verse. Luke 21:28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, like you've been saying, for your redemption draweth nigh.
For your redemption draweth nigh. Lift up thy head, because that's what we're going to see. And that goes right back to what we saw earlier, that video. We were looking up like, oh, they're like a chariot the whole time. That's why in John the 14th chapter, what it said, be ye not troubled. Hey, listen, if any brother got anything, just bring it out, because, I just be...
Kind.
So if you got something, go ahead.
Yeah. This is
when everybody eat.
This is Philippians chapter 3 and verse 20. For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for our Savior, the Lord Yahushua Hamashiach.
Hey, call that back. Call that back.
Rewind that one.
I ordered something else, but this came with my delivery. So let me see what that is. Do I pay for that or what? Is that free? Go ahead.
So Philippians chapter 3 and verse 20. For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahushua Hamashiach.
Hey, and what it say in Matthew the 6th chapter? It said, lay up your treasures in heaven. Our conversation is on things that are up above, but everything that we see is temporal. Everything that's above us is eternal. That's what we're looking at. That's heavy. Go ahead, you got more?
Yeah, last verse. It's verse 21. Who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body?
Like unto his glorious body. Go ahead.
According to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself.
So just like us, that's why the scripture says, there was no weapon that is formed that shall prosper against thee.
Okay.
We're going to be able to just conquer everything in that day. We're going to be like Yahweh Shai. Like unto our brethren. There's nothing they can do. That's why he said, be in our trouble. We know what, listen, I shed my blood for you. I came in the flesh to die for you, because the Most High, Yahweh, he wanted an atonement for all of the sins and iniquities of Israel. That's why he bared our sins. That's why he gets dominion over all things. And we are joint. Hold on, Yahweh Shai is not joint heirs to us. We are joint heirs to Yahweh Shai. That's heavy, man. That's why he said there's no greater love than a man laid down his life for his friend. And we are his friends because we know the mysteries of the scriptures. So that's something not to be taken lightly. Especially when the man's death is, his body was put on the line for that, man. That's why he said, don't worry, I died for your sins. Just do what I asked you to do. Feed the sheep. Hold on. Love thy brother as thyself. First and foremost, love Yahweh Shema Shai above all. And then love thy brother as thou love thyself. That ain't the whole law right there. Because the faithful gonna live by the law anyway. You got something?
Okay. Yeah, no, I can bring something real quick. This is like Isaiah chapter 54, verse 1. It says, sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. Talking about Israel.
Yep.
Break forth into singing.
Because sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, that's a shame unto a woman.
Yep.
Right? When she can't bear children. So that's Israel. Sing, O barren, because why? We're shameful, but the Lord telling us to sing. What? Going back to sing that new song, and they sung a new song, right? So sing, O barren. You'll go have something on that.
No. It says, sing, O barren, thou didst not bear. And like you said, that's a shame unto a woman.
Yeah.
And we're like it unto a woman.
Yep.
Break forth into singing and cry aloud that thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord. Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thy habitations. So we're gonna gain a lot. You know, the Lord's gonna eventually give us something. Like we read in St. John talking about there's many mansions in heaven.
Right.
All right. Well, the Lord's gonna stretch out our tents. All right. It says, enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitation. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes, for thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. All right, and that's and again, the Lord's is gonna eventually bring us to be. Right now, we're barren. Okay, we ain't got shit out here. All right, all these heathens, these Gentiles are above us as a nation. Okay, but the Lord's gonna eventually put them in our hands. All right, and He's gonna stretch forth our tents, our curtains, really our habitations. All right, because what we are the most on this earth. All right, we just to see the many. However, all right, we're of a lower state. Go ahead.
I mean, through the Spirit, we was barren, but now we're not barren because we're fruitful. Because if you go to 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, it says the truth which have long time been without fruit. So we're not barren anymore. So now we bearing that fruit. Because remember, it said every tree that my Father have not planted shall be hewn up and cast into the fire. So we bearing that fruit, and you can see it by the elder apostles of Great Millstone. So hold that real quick. I'm back up on that though. Because now we have that fruit. Go ahead.
Con, this is Jeremiah 17 verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh. But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the years of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
And it shall not cease from yielding fruit. And that's what's happening right now. There's so much fruit right now that's being put out, that's basically been coming up in the stead of the Spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. So at one time we were barren of having the fruit, talking about from the elder apostles on down. Now it's made it to the point where we have made, I say we, I mean the nation of Israel have made the new. They have acknowledged us. They try to defamate our character, but all you pretty much did was been for the truth rather than against it. Because we still pushing the word, and ain't nobody been calling and coming up saying, oh, these guys are murderers. No, okay, verbal abuse, that was cool. But we still out pushing the truth. You ain't taking us up yet. Nothing you can do against that. So this fruit is not being barren. This tree has not been barren anymore. All right?
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just something real quick, just to speak on something you said. Like as you said, nobody's calling up. So that's why in that time they're gonna have to bring up false witnesses like they did against Yahweh Shai. To say, oh, we did this, and say, oh, we did that. I just want to say that.
That's why they got these different programs that they can change what we say.
Go ahead.
Real quick before you get that.
Somebody has something to say?
I was gonna say, like we was just reading about that tree planted by water, right? Now, if a tree's planted by water, its roots can go down and be able to get the water. It can sustain itself. That's why it's like really nothing that can really push the tree off of, kill the tree off, right? Because why? It's gonna always have the nourishment because it's right there in the water, right? That's like us we planted in this here truth. So what? Like the scripture say, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time, man. All right, we got the faith. We rooted right there beside the river into the water. So what? It's really nothing. The different elements or whatnot can't really shake us, man. Because why? We got that straight connection to life. That tree needs water. It needs to be able to reach water. You got a tree out in the desert. It ain't got no water. It's gonna die of starvation. Dehydration. But what if you plant it? Even if you have a tree in the desert and its roots is touching some water, man, it'll be there forever, man.
Hey, this beautiful brother, he finna skillfully add on what you're talking about.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 1. I'll start at verse 2 and it points in 3. It says, "But his delight is in the law of the Most High, and in his law does he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither.
So like, read that one more time. Bible Shop. Read that one more time. Bible Shop.
I'll start verse 2 again, Psalm 1 and 2. But his delight is in the law of the Most High, Yahweh, and in his law doth he meditate day and night.
Come.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
So like a tree that's planted by the rivers of water. What did Paul say? Apollos have planted, I have water, but the Most High give the increase. Well, Yahweh said, he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. What do they say? It's not what goes inside of a man, but what comes out. Are them living waters flowing out of your mouth? That's what it's talking about. That's the truth. This right here is what's going to keep you whole. This is what makes you sound. This is what makes you pure. Being baptized by the word of Yahweh by Shem Shai. And you constantly growing. The seed, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, it's small, but if you keep adding and keep eating and you keep drinking that wine, that bread, that water, what's gonna happen? You're gonna eventually flourish into what? A tree that's gonna bring forth many fruit. That's the ministry. All right, so I can go ahead.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither.
In his season, so it's a time when you're gonna elevate, when you're gonna grow.
Exactly. It says in his season.
In his season.
Yeah, you know, because we don't pick that. All right, you know, we get nurtured. All right, and then you know, like you just quoted. All right, we don't get the increase by our own volition. The Lord gives it to us. All right. So in his season, that's when you start to grow and get that fruit. So it says that bringeth forth his fruit in his season, and leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Because what? You gave your mind to the Heavenly Father and his law. Okay, the ways of the scriptures, the ways of our heritage. Once you do that and you do it in truth and sincerity, there's no way that your steps shall falter. Okay, go ahead.
1 Corinthians 3 and 6. I have planted, Apollos have watered, but the Most High gave the increase.
Right.
So then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watered, but the Most High that giveth the increase.
And the water for you breaking that out, because what did John the Baptist say in St. John the 3rd chapter?
Okay, right here.
Spirit.
John.
Where you at?
Matthew.
Whatever you got,
chapter 3.
take off.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 3, verse 10. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree with, and this is John speaking, therefore every tree which bringeth forth or bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Hey, that's spiritual, because hey, think about this. What happened when Yahweh Shai was walking with the disciples and that one tree was damn near about to die? What Yahweh Shai did, he just took the spirit up out of it. It's gone. Same thing with the other camps or the other Israelite groups out here that's not preaching the same doctrine. The Yahweh Shai is going to do what? Take the spirit.
Because it's not good fruit.
It's not bringing forth any fruit.
Yeah.
What's the point of what? Hey, what the scripture says? Death is better than continual sickness.
Yeah.
Hey, trees get disease too, right?
Yeah. And a fruit that is barren is not good. It's like poison. You know what I mean?
You
Can't eat that, and that's doctrine and philosophy. You know.
There's a precept in Jeremiah that talks about the wild grapes, that the vineyard was planted, but they didn't grow. It didn't grow. The vineyard didn't grow regular grapes like it was supposed to. It didn't grow regular clusters of grapes.
I think I know what you're talking
wild
about.
grapes. Is Jeremiah chapter 3.
Oh, 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
I'm just looking for
two
it.
chapter, or no, Isaiah chapter 5. Select Isaiah chapter 5 verse 2. It talks about that it grew wild grapes.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
instead of regular grapes that grow in clusters, it grew wild grapes. And when you eat wild grapes, they're not grown like they're supposed to. So you can actually die from eating wild grapes. You know, going into that wild fruit, that tree that's not grown like it's supposed to, you can die. Just like these other people. When you growing yourself as the different tree from this tree, you going outside.
And you know what though? Every farmer doesn't plow and plant the same. Because I'm speaking as a man to you men, because every man don't have sex the same. Because we all are husbands, right? So everybody gonna plant differently. The Most High planted this way, and this how you're supposed to do it. If you're not doing it that way, you're not gonna bear any fruit. He has an intricate way of doing it. You know? You're right. I'm with you, Dad. It's beautiful. Come.
Real quick, since you're talking about the grapes, this is second.
So, okay, every man has their own almanac. Go ahead.
There you go. This is second Esdras, chapter 9, verse 21 or 22. I'll read it 21 and 22. It says, "And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of my cluster, and a plant of a great people."
So like he said, I kept a grape of my. Can you get me second Esdras chapter 6? He said all men come from Adam. Because we have to establish something. Can you get it where it say he said it's the mind person known in Isaiah? In the spirit?
You said,
Go somewhere.
Take a trip.
Take a trip.
Take a little journey.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I didn't know you was going to second Esdras. I like that. That's beautiful.
Second
Esdras.
Second Esdras chapter 9, verse 21. "And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people."
He said, I kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of what?
A great people.
Of a great people. But when you go into Jeremiah, what the Lord said, you have become a degenerate plant.
Add that to Jeremiah 2nd chapter.
You already know what I'm talking about. You have become a degenerate plant unto me. So the Heavenly Father showed you that he got a certain cluster of the grapes that are to him. Did I actually hear something?
Second Esdras 6.
I got one more verse.
Okay. Matter of fact, you read that.
Okay, before you get that, verse 22, 2 Esdras 9 and 22, it says, "Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain."
Right. So let the multitude perish then that was born in vain. So let some of those trees that was planted in vain. Because you listen, remember now, you got to remember the elect, we've been predestined since the foundation of the earth. So you have other people that have been born to do what? Either to be a 2/3 or to be a heathen in certain nation of Israel.
Some
What
people are
else?
born for the sword.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For
Gross.
example, you know,
Gross. Yeah, gross. Yeah, dross. Yeah, dross. Verse 22 again. "Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
Right.
And let my grape be kept, and my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect."
So with great labor this goes right back to every man has their own. Yahweh has a certain way of planting his seeds and how to plow that field and how to water it. If you not doing it the way he telling you to do it, you planting seeds in vain. You want to get hewn up and cast into the fire. It's that simple. And what it say? With great labor.
Great labor.
It's the perfecting of the saints, right?
It says,
Why you think we gonna do bullshit? We being refined. I gotta make sure. Let me put a little bit more heat to that ass so I can make sure it comes out perfect. That's what it is. So we gonna constantly be on that heat. Fuck it. I know what's on the other side.
right, let me just go, let's get through it. Let's
Yeah,
get through it.
fuck it, man. Just take it.
Yeah, some.
Yeah, I'm moving.
More that. Bring it.
All right, Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 54. It says, "And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen."
And the people whom thou also hast chosen. Remember, he was talking about he kept them a cluster from the grape. Go ahead, up.
Verse 55. "All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Right.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam,
Right.
thou hast said that they are nothing."
So hold on. They go right back to them grapes. He keep a cluster. He kept a cluster for himself, but the other grapes gonna be doing what? They're gonna be pressed down in that wine. They're gonna be that blood's gonna be shed. So the cluster that he kept was for himself, but the rest of them grapes gonna be trodden down. That's why he said all the people that come from Adam, but those chosen. Everybody else, what it say about them, Baba Bashar?
It says, Second Ezra 6:56. As for the other people, which also come from Adam,
Right.
thou hast said that they are nothing,
Right.
but be like a spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
That's an abundance is talking about, that's greater than. So the abundance of them is like me drinking the entire bottle of water, and then that last couple of the drops that come out is them. That's what the Lord has likened them unto. But that's more of them than there are of the elect. So that's the beauty of it. That's that cluster that he kept for himself. Because many are born in vain. 2/3 are born to be made examples of. Just like heathens are made to be our servants. And we are made to be the servant of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. Well, guess what? We ain't want to fulfill our contract. Guess what? We got penalized. Esau ruling over us. The servants ruling over us now. You know? You got something?
Yeah.
Go ahead, that's all.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5, and I'm going to start at verse 23. And said, O Yahweh, thou bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, and thou hast chosen thee only one vine.
Mm-hmm.
And of
Salakia. Slow down. Have chosen thee only one vine. The vineyard. So from this one wine, I want this wine from this one vineyard. Not from that vineyard. Not from that vineyard. The vineyard that I told you to plant, the way I told you to plant, I want my wine from that vineyard. This is my cluster. This is a select cluster of grapes from all the other grapes in that orchid. I think what do you call orchid, right?
depending on what you got, but it could be.
All right, hold on now, don't be shabby on me.
I'm just saying.
Jay, I know you're alone. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right? Where them grapes at, man? I want these right here. Anybody got something? Anybody want to add on? Or because these brothers can continue on. All right, go ahead, dog.
Verse 24, and of all the lands of the world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
And it said of all the flowers, one lily and one pit. Because they always got buried back in their own land too, the Israelites. Go ahead, up.
And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river.
One river, that's the Jordan River, which John the Baptist baptized Yahweh Cheyenne. Go ahead, up.
And of all builded cities, thou hast hallowed Zion unto thyself.
What is it, Atazamam? Tazayawam. I always got Atazamam. I think Atazamam is strength or something like that.
Yeah, mighty is strength.
Mighty is strength. And Tazayawam is monument. Right, Tazayawam, a monument. That's us. And also Jerusalem, the city of peace. Go ahead, up.
Verse 26, and of all the fowl that are created, thou hast named thee one dove, and of all the cattle thou hast provided thee one sheep.
So we have the dove, we have the sheep. Because remember what Yahweh Shah said in Matthew, the 25th chapter. Do you get that for me, Matthew 25? He said he's going to separate the sheep from the goat. We ain't going to go there right now, but keep going on.
I just got two more, verse 27 and 28. And among all the multitude of the people, thou hast gotten thee one people.
And of all the multitude of the people, of all the clusters of the grapes, right? Of all the trees that bear fruit or don't bear fruit, right? Go ahead, up.
And among all the multitude of people, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people, whom thou lovest, thou gave a law that is approved above all.
Hold on. Who thou lovest, thou hast given a law that is approved above all. Salakia, let's go off this spirit. I need Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Baba Kashal. You already there? Go ahead. Spirit. This is spirit.
So, Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power.
We are a holy. Hold on. What holy mean?
Separate.
We are separate. Is that separate cluster? That separate flower? That separate people? So now somebody want to take the sword out the sheep. All right, but we're the same. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we in war, baby. Keep it on your side.
Hey, reload it.
I'm glad you joined us, baby.
You're welcome. Let me get that real quick, then, Baba. This is beautiful. Leviticus 21, verse 24. Well, I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land. Talking about nation of Israel, we shall inherit their land. And I will give it unto you to possess it. A land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, which have separated you from other people.
I am the
and that's
Lord
that holy.
God,
that's what made us holy.
the water that have
Separation.
separated you and given that land. You got more now?
Yeah, real quick. Verse 26. Well, can I read 25 to read into 26?
Go to spirit.
It says, Leviticus 20 and 25. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean. And ye shall not make your...
Salaki, just to stop right there, because it's actually a law where the Lord said we can give any heathen nation, anything that's already dead, but we can't eat that. So they're going to show you, he even told us what we can and cannot eat, and how to eat it. He separated us from all nations.
And it says, and between unclean fowls and clean, and ye shall not make your souls abominable by beast or by fowl or by manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. That's the point. And ye shall be holy unto me.
Hold
Once
on.
again, holy again.
What's the point? Holy means to be clean,
Yep.
to be separated. I've chosen you from, this is the purest of the purest, the best of the best, the creme de la creme, the premium.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The exotic, the rare.
Yep.
That's what we are.
Because just by naturally, if you go pick fruit, you're going to look at it,
You
right?
gonna examine it,
Exactly.
touch it, see how firm it
okay,
is.
that's it. And you're
That's
going to
it.
leave the rest of that
Some
them shits
the
there.
other shit, you gonna
Yeah.
throw that shit on the ground.
You know?
Drop of a bucket.
Come. So it says, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord, for I, Yahweh, am holy,
Come on.
and have severed you from other people that ye should be mine.
I've chosen you from other people that you should be mine. Can you please give me first Corinthians 6 and 20? Abu Bashar? You got more on that? On Deuteronomy 76, brother?
I didn't finish it.
Yeah, keep going. This is spirit. But he said, I've separated you. Going back to the Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Matter of fact, it's probably like 3 or 4 more verses on
Yeah,
there. Go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is
Water, that was your part.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord Yahweh thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
So the Lord has given the nation of Israel the law, statutes, and commandment. That's what makes us holy. It tells you that in Psalm 147 and 19. Bible Bashar. He got it. Psalms 147 and 19. You can be Amos 3 and 3. No, 3 and 1. That's what we're gonna go with. We have to establish who the Lord is dealing with. That's why we ain't got nothing to worry about. All this evil and this wickedness and all this evil and wickedness that's to come, it's not for us. This is for them over there. This is for the heathens, for the 2/3. That's why Yahweh said, don't be troubled. All right? Go ahead up.
Con, Psalms 147, 19.
Yep.
Con. This is Psalms 147, verse 19. He sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Right, so the law, statutes, commandments which separated us, which made us holy, which the Lord has taken us from amongst the heathens, the other nations, read on.
Con, verse 20. He have not dealt so with any nation.
Right.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
So if you don't know his judgment, how can you repent from sinning? Because sin is a transgression of the law. Go ahead up.
Con, praise ye Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Praise ye Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Con.
All right? Hold on. Go ahead up.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. Continuing where we left off. The Lord Yahweh thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
And they go back to Deuteronomy 32 and 7, when the Most High divided the nations. All right, going back to the sons of Adam, he divided the nations. All right, and gave everybody their own inheritance. Go ahead up.
The Lord Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers.
So this goes right back to Abraham. It was Abraham who from Noah to the God of Shem to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the 12 tribes of Israel. I made an oath, a covenant with Abraham. I would give you the kingdom of heaven. I would give you all things. But if they don't, this is the B-side to that tape. We listening to the B-side right now. All right? Go ahead, up.
Hath the Lord Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand,
Out of Egypt, ancient Egypt. Go ahead, up.
and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Out of the what? Bondman, Montezaria, double straights. 400 years of slavery. That's not talking about from the time of other Israelites. We're talking about 400 years from the Renaissance up until now. No, it's talking about ancient Egypt. Okay?
It's verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord Yahweh thy power, he is the most high, the faithful power.
The faithful power. So he's a faithful power, so we're supposed to be faithful as well. If we're going to be one with him and Yahweh Shai. Go ahead, up.
Which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments.
So hold on. So lock it. He said they keep it. Read that one more time. Baba Kashaf. That's heavy.
Which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments.
Keep mercy. Deuteronomy 34:7. Keep mercy and keep his covenant with them that love him, right?
Yeah.
Wait, how should I say, if you love me, keep my commandments? What's the covenant of keeping the commandments? We wasn't keeping them. So we got penalized. Go ahead.
And you brought up Psalm 147. You know, we're the only people that can love the Most High because He's the only people that gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, that's that marriage, the union between no other nation that can have with the Most High besides us. You know?
Hey, I don't mean to be corny, but they remind me of that Jagged Edge song. He can love you, I can. I know he's going off though, but he reminded me of that. But anyways, hey, can't no other nation love their Heavenly Father the way Israel's supposed to. Because you want to know why? Yahweh's supposed to be the only man that penetrate his woman. We should not be defiled by other nations with other idols. The nation Israel should not feel the lust of no other man in or upon her. But we basically committed spiritual fornication. That's why we're where we are right now. But because the Heavenly Father has chosen us, and because those who keep the mercies, those who keep the law, statutes, and commandment will get mercy, and he will keep his covenant. Because what did Paul say in Romans the 7th chapter? I speak to those that know the law. Know ye not that the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth? So the Lord still keeping his covenant. It's never done away with. We just under faith and grace. Because we can't keep the whole law. We dead to the law. We live under the priesthood of Malak Melchizedek, which is Yahweh Shai. You know? You got that, Bible Show?
Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 7. It says, and Moses was 120 years old when he died. Deuteronomy 34 and 7.
30 and 7.
30 and 7?
No, it's 34 and 7.
It's 34? Which one are you looking for?
Oh, no, Salaki, Exodus. I went off.
Okay.
It's Exodus. It's Exodus, Salaki.
What scripture?
You're here. Thousands.
Okay,
thousands.
okay.
I went off.
Thought you talking about the Most High separated according to the
That's 32.
That's 30.
You're right.
Okay,
Yeah, it's in the area.
Exodus 34, verse 7. And it reads, keeping mercies for thousands, forgiving iniquity. Damn, that's heavy. Salakia. Exodus chapter 34. There you go. Exodus chapter 34, verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin.
Forgiving mercy unto thousands and iniquity of mercy and sins. Because you just read that, right? And you read that Deuteronomy 7. You still got it? You can read that last part. You want to hold it. Well, it was in your hand, but you double dribble.
I'm here.
You double dribble.
Nah, we good.
Whatever. Well, you know, the reference see it. Keep dribbling.
Deuteronomy 7 and verse 9, finishing up with a point of brothers at, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments.
And they keep his commandment. Go ahead.
To 1,000 generations.
To 1,000 generations. Read on up.
This is Exodus 34, verse 7. Keeping mercies for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers.
By no means clear the guilty.
Hey, brother, it's a lot of meat up in here, brother. No, and I'm with you. Listen, it's a lot of meat up in here. I'm with you. Matter of fact, let's build off of that. Read that one more time.
Again?
Can you give me Hebrews?
This is Exodus chapter 34, verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin.
Forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin. Now hold on. Can you give me Amos 3 and 3, Baba Kashaf? What is 3 and 1?
This is Amos 3 and 1 and 2. It says, hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore will I punish you for all your iniquities.
Right. So he said I will punish you for all your iniquities, but he also said that he gonna do what? Have mercy upon thousands for their iniquities. But hold on, the Most High, Yahweh, he said that he gonna show mercy to those who kept his covenant. So the law is not done away with. So how do you make remissions for your sins. You need blood. They go right back to Yahweh Shai. The law was never done away with. Yahweh Shai became the sacrificial lamb. We didn't need a turtle dove. We didn't need a goat or a bullock. Yahweh Shai was that sacrificial lamb. Because there had to be a falling away anyway. There had to be the desolation abomination. That had to occur. He had to die for our sins. If you know where I'm going, go ahead.
Yeah, the
It's just a spirit.
This is Hebrews chapter 9, and I'll start at verse 11. But Hamashiach, being come, and high priest of good things to come,
Go ahead.
by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building.
Right, because you know, you had the two temples that was made. You know, Solomon's temple. But now Malak Tazadak Yahweh Shai, the king of righteousness, he basically built up that the house of David. He's the chief cornerstone. We're the building blocks. We're the spiritual stones. So like it in?
The lively stone, I disagree.
Yeah, the lively stones. Yeah, so like we're the lively stones. And what's the foundation, y'all?
Peter.
Who is who?
Hebrews chapter 9, verse 12. Neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once into the holy place,
Right.
having obtained eternal redemption for us.
He obtained eternal redemption for us. So even though the elders tell us, yo, keep the moon Sabbath to the best of our ability, all right? Keep the Day of Atonement, keep the Passover, keep Purim, whatever you may keep that to the best of thy ability, to the best of your ability. But sacrificing, how can we sacrifice to the Most High a pure thing? The earth is defiled by under the inhabitants thereof. So Yahweh Shai is, if he didn't die for us, we wouldn't have eternal redemption. Because the Most High would not take a defiled bullock for a sacrifice. Go ahead,
It's Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 13. For if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of an heifer, sprinkling the unclean, sanctified to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Hamashiach?
So, hey, in the old covenant, we actually had to literally go out and gut. We had to cut, slew or slay the beast, and then that purified our flesh. But Yahweh Shai died. So he said. So it basically is like, so what much more of the blood of Yahweh Shai than these bullocks? That's heavy. That's why Yahweh Shai said in going back to St. John the 14th chapter, the first verse. What it said? Oh, let not your heart be troubled. You have eternal redemption. Just feed the sheep, man. Go ahead up.
Who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to the Most High.
And what without spot means without what?
Blemish.
Sin.
Sin. Oh, so
You know? And same thing, without blemish, without spot, that's without sin.
Without sin.
You know?
Without sin. Right.
Continuing, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power.
Read again, Salaki.
I'll read again. This is Hebrews chapter 9, verse 14. How much more shall the blood of Hamashiach, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to the Most High, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power.
It said, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power. What it said in 1 Peter the 3rd chapter? It said to stir up that pure mind. Your conscience, man. Hey, what did it say? It's can you please give me 1 Thessalonians 5? Yep. And 11, Bible Kashah. Read that one more time, that conscience part, Bible Kashah.
Done. Purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power.
Right, purge your conscience. Go ahead up.
And reason why I say dead works too. Why? That's the old man. You know, being born again, become a new creature. You know? Say that.
That's right. No, you're right. All of our righteousness is 50 rags anyway.
1 Thessalonians what?
1 Thessalonians 5 and 11.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together.
10.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 10. Who died for us,
that whether we should sleep,
Oh, 2 Corinthians, Salakia. 2 Corinthians 5. All right, read that one more time about the context, Salakia.
So Hebrews chapter 9, finish up the last part of verse 14. Purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power.
Right, go ahead up.
what you want now?
I think it was 2 Corinthians 5 and 11 or 10. You said, therefore, knowing the terror of the Lord.
Yep. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 11. Knowing therefore the terror, and they got the word fear in there. It says that, knowing therefore the terror of Yahweh, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto Yahweh, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience.
And your conscience. So it's made manifest in your conscience. Because you're going to do the works by the Spirit. So just like the brothers, just like right here, what was saying. Read it one more time, Brother Shah.
God. Hebrews chapter 9, last part of verse 14. Purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power.
So hold on. So how do you purify yourself? By the word. Faith comes by what? By the hearing of the word. That purges your conscience. You being cleansed by this. He that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. It's all about healing. Yahweh Shah was all about healing those that believe. That's really what it was all about. He shows you physically that I can make you see. I can make you walk again. I can clean leprosy. But he want to let you know that I got all this power and authority from Yahweh. The same power that you forsook. So you looking at me as a man, but the power that I have is from a higher power from above. I even told you that I go to my Father because he is greater than I.
And I was gonna say, just speaking on how we heard this, and we got this by hearing, right? And it purges us, right? It's like when you hear the word and brothers preaching, when you first come into this, basically getting cut and cut and cut and cut and cut until you just like, damn, you know what? I gotta just humble on down, because what? You hearing this here word, man. The men on the highways and the byways are telling you how you're supposed to be living your life or whatnot. Like Ezekiel say, look, warn the wicked of his wicked ways, so that what? The wicked man can turn away from his wickedness, You're gonna be getting cut by this, and getting purged by that, being made pure from the word, man. All right, you getting this here faith and this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding by what? First hearing this here word, man, believing on that. All right, then acting on that belief, man. Judgment. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's the spirit though. Because you have to go through hardship to be. Yeah, in order for you to have endurance, you have to do what? You have to constantly surpass your limit. Because what it says, we can never do enough for Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai. So there's no such thing as a limit. I'm not trying to get there. What I say is nothing can stop me. I'm on my way up. It's constant progression until you actually sitting on that seat. Right. So hey, all the things that Yahweh Shai went through for us, he died for our sins. So what we going through right now is nothing compared to what Yahweh Shai been through. Light affliction, bro. Go ahead. Cause we got eternal redemption. What it tell you in 2 Thessalonians, 1 Corinthians, the 4th chapter. The things that we see are temporal. But the kingdom of heaven, salvation, that's going to be eternal. So all we have to do is we have to suffer these Edomites in their prideful state, in 2/3 in their heathenistic, Americanized, Hellenistic ways, man. But at the same time, though, we seeking the old path. So Yahweh Shai said, trouble not. Why? Because we doing what he told us to do. Come warn the people. Examine ourselves. Loving Yahweh Shai with all our heart. Loving my brother like I love myself, man. Okay? Showing no respect to persons. Taking rebuke. When you get tried, man, take it cheerfully. Just keep moving. Keep progressing. That's all it is. We constantly sailing down this river of truth. That's it. Yeah, we're doing that, right?
You can read verse 15.
Go ahead. You know the Spirit.
This is Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 15. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament.
He's the mediator of the New Testament. Can you give me John 14:7?
That by means of death.
That by means of death. So all the Old Testament is saying that they don't believe in Yahweh Shai, he's an idol. How you going to get to the Most High? Because remember, the law has dominion as long as the man liveth. Oh, that's in the New Testament. Well, guess what? It even tells you in the Old Testament too, that the laws of the Most High, what is Amos 9:8, 9:9, I said I shall destroy the sinners of my people. What's sin? All right? So either way you look at it, the law still has dominion over you. You got it for me out?
Yeah, we'll start at verse 6.
Go ahead, Al.
This is John 14:6-7. Yahweh said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
So the only way you can go to the Father is by what? Believing. Believing and you shall be saved. That's it. The faith of a mustard seed and you will be saved. Let's have a little faith. Somewhat. Go ahead.
Verse 7. If you had known me, you should have known my Father also. And from henceforth you know him and have seen him.
So through the Spirit, when you think about them wicked scribes and Pharisees, they knew the law. But hold on. How was Abraham justified?
Faith.
Watch. He was justified righteous by his faith, man. Okay? He was not justified by the law itself. Though he was, his father giving over to idols and everything, he had faith that I believe this is what it is. You want to know why? He's supposed to honor thy father and thy mother. So he pretty much went against his father to show love to his spiritual father. Remember tell you that in Hebrews 12 chapter? How much we show respect to our fleshly fathers? How much more we show respect to our fleshly fathers than the father of spirits? Same thing, right? Okay? Hey, hold on. In Lamentation, the first chapter speaks about how they clap at us and they hiss at us. He fulfilling prophecy. He's selling his own casket. He ain't putting himself in. All right? Go ahead, Al. You have more? That was it? Okay, go ahead, Al.
Read against Hebrews chapter 9, verse 15. But for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament.
The transgressions under the first testament. So we dead to the law because we as filthy rags. We've been defiled. I don't care what Muslims did they say. I ain't never ate pork. Long as I live, never had pork, never had shrimp. I bet one of your ancestors was actually chained up, and I bet you they ate pork. It's in your system, nigga. No matter how you look at it, we unclean, we filthy.
Born into sin.
Born into the water. That's what David said. Born into sin. Yahushua was born into sin, being King Solomon, out of adultery. And then what happened? He had 40 years of peace.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 22. It says, speaking of Yahushua, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Right, he did no sin, no guile was found in his mouth, like there's no guile in our mouth. But we covered by his sins. All we do is preach his word.
And the reason why there's no guile within our mouth is because we're speaking the truth, the gospel. Because we're going to go off, we're going to so-called say curse words or misspeak or whatever, but the doctrine, that's how there's no guile within our mouth, because we're speaking 100% doctrine, man.
And also on top of that, we don't have an agenda or nothing behind this. Oh, I'm gonna go out here and preach prosperity to the people so they can give me some money, like in the churches, man. Right. God said, if you want to be blessed, go ahead and bless pastor. Go ahead and put your money on in here. You know, that's pretty, speaking for guile, man. You trying to beguile these people, man, to get something up off of their ass, man. Are you telling a woman, oh yeah, baby, you beautiful, this and snap, why? So you can swindle her into getting whatever she got, man.
Yeah.
All right, that's not what we are here doing, man.
A conventional dictionary, guile, sly or cunning intelligence.
There you go. We're not doing this to basically con you out of anything, man. We're not out here preaching for y'all to get some, give us some money or preaching for y'all to so-called come in. We're not trying to convert or die, nothing like that, man. That ain't why we out here, man. We just doing what the Lord commanded us to do, man.
Hey, and also like you were saying, guile means to be sly. Well, you gotta think about this. So what did Yahushua say? He said, "Be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove." A serpent is sly. It means you have to be wise. So when Paul said, "I got you with the guile," basically you was Elder Apostle Gabar goes into it. You were on a level of a toad. I'm on a level of an owl. So I just beguiled you. I just got over on you. That's all. But guess what? Something I said and it's true that I never what's what I'm looking for? I never bent or I never perverted to get you to come in. I told you what it was, but I just told you in a different format. Why? That's why Paul said, "Though I be rude in speech." So Paul had to be rude. He said, "Though I be rude in speech, but I'm not in knowledge, because we are all made manifest unto you in all things." So there's no excuse. You know, the truth is out there in different formats. So we're gonna get you any kind of
as a prime example, man. I used this example the other night. I basically beguiled somebody in a certain type of way, but in a righteous way, man. You know, they was really coming up against the scripture, bugging the fuck out, talking about how they don't want to listen to this book and so on and so forth. And I was like, listen, It's just like if the weatherman tell you a hurricane finna come, and you say, I don't want to hear that bad news, don't be raining on my parade, fuck all of that shit, and you decide to go to the beach anyway, they don't stop the hurricane from coming, man. Your ass is gonna wind up getting hit, man. All right, and I wind up using that analogy. It's like, yo, man, if you regular people can see that, like, yeah, if the motherfucker go to the beach after the weatherman tell us a hurricane coming, it's not stopping the hurricane. Same with these prophecies, man. I just told you the same thing about the prophecies, but in a different format. You know, you on a lower level can understand that if you don't want to listen to the weatherman when a hurricane comes and you go to the beach, you're still getting fucked up. The same things we tell you when it's something to believe. Does that make the will of the Most High to none effect, man? Your ass still gonna get grass, man. But I mean, and that's the way, like, oh, I got you by God. It's not like, we lied to you about nothing. We just told you the same thing in a different format, man. We're not talking about, it ain't no chip, it ain't no RFID chip. It's June and the RFID chip.
It's June.
We telling you exactly what it is. But, you know, sometimes you might be out in the world and you talk to people a certain type of way, man. Y'all notice how you getting everything on these computer chips and everything else like that instead of just coming out, oh, that's the RFID chip, that's the mark of the beast, man. You can go around a certain type of way, like, well, shit, they do say something like that in the Bible. You know what I'm saying about buying and selling it. I don't know, I ain't the smartest man in the world, but I mean, this shit look, you walk like a duck and talk like a duck. You know, you got to understand what type of level these people that you're dealing with on, man. All right?
Yep. That's why you can't talk to everybody the same way you talk to a brother. You got something you want to say up? Brother, you want to say something, right?
No, slipped my mind, slack you.
All right, come on. But yeah, it just goes right back to like how we talk to brothers, man. How, you know, how we basically, we not being beguiled. We not beguiling them at, you know, any way or what shape or form.
Not lying to you.
We just coming at you straightforward, all right? Yeah. You got more on that?
Oh, the last part about us receiving our inheritance.
Yeah, that was it on it? What you at?
No,
That was it?
I was holding John 14.
All right, well, can you please give me can you give me 2nd Esdras, the 3rd chapter? I think like the 26th verse. All right.
2nd Esdras 3 and what?
26, I believe. Bible Bishop.
This 2nd Esdras chapter 3, verse 26. And in all things did even as Adam and all his generation had done, for they also had a wicked heart. So thou gavest the city over unto the hands of thine enemies, are their deeds then any better than the inhabitants of Babylon, that they should therefore have dominion over Zion?
Keep going.
For when I came thither and had seen impotence without number, then my soul saw many evildoers in this 30 years, so that my heart failed me. For I have seen now thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and has destroyed thy people, and has preserved thy enemies, and has not signified it.
So hold on. The Most High, he preserved his enemies? Hold on, wait a minute. So you see what I'm getting at, right? Hold on, so in other words, those who do wickedness and those who do evil, you preserving them, but why are we going through this? Why? What did we do to deserve this? Can you give me 3 holy children? All right. Is it a little bit more on that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, or is there any other people that thou knowest besides Israel? Or what generation?
Amos 3 and 3 he just brought out. You only have I known. So that's the answer right there. Amos 3 and 1 and 2. I would say 3. Go ahead.
It says, or is there any other people thou knowest thee besides Israel? Or what generation which generation have so believed thy covenants as Jacob?
So what generation believed your covenant as Jacob? Because who was the covenant given to? Psalm 147:19. He shewed this word unto Jacob, his statutes and covenants unto Israel. His laws and statutes to Israel. He have not done so in any nation. Go ahead up.
I gotta read this all the way down. It's like 3 more verses though.
It's a spirit,
it says, verse 33. And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit.
Right.
For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I have seen that they flow in wealth and think not upon thy commandments.
So all these wars you see are about what? About money.
Resources.
They're flowing in wealth. They're getting resources. All right. Everybody's trying to get money off of the stock market. Some companies are pulling their contracts out of the stock market. You have countries that are America making false flags so they can try and infiltrate Iran. Same thing they were doing with Syria, lost miserably there. Same thing with Libya, same thing with Sudan, same thing with Egypt. They're the same thing with all the other countries. Okay? So all they doing is getting rich off of that, and they can care less about the Most High's commandment. But all presidents do what? They get inaugurated on the Bible. That's why I said, what has that to do with my statutes?
I mean,
Saying that, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let me go 34 to 36, go right into it. It says, weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world, so that thy name, so shall thy name nowhere be found in Israel. Or when it was in that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight, or what people have so kept thy commandments. Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Right, so we by name has kept the precepts, but not the heathen. And what's a prime example of that? Was not those fake Jews, those Jewish people over there, eating on crabs, eating all kind of crustaceans?
Yep.
But you will see it right here. Well, hey, we're against that. We don't eat crustaceans, man. We don't eat catfish. We don't die on swine. We're not eating rabbit, duck. Right? We don't eat coon. We don't eat possum. We don't eat people like Esau. We don't do any of that. We don't eat horse.
I was gonna say, in reality, by nature, I know, like in our generation growing up, man, when you was a little kid, man, before little kids even knew what sex was, a bad thing to be called was gay. Oh, you gay. Why I gotta be gay? You gay. You know, so we knew, certain things off rip just growing up, man. Nobody really had to tell us what that was. Just, you just knew that, oh, that was gay. You see somebody sweet, there's something wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? So we already knew. But what, these heathen who claim to be the Lord's people and everything, they the ones pushing this and promoting this, man.
Yeah, because, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, this is why our people are doing it now, because of what? The heathen, Esau's the one promoting this around the planet Earth.
It's just simple because, Jake growing up, Jake could be like, hey, man, I need to put some lotion on my legs, but man, that's gay, nigga. Why you putting lotion on? Women do that. That's what, just some, cause they know, it's off. They'll say it's off, or that's stupid or something. That's all, you know what I'm saying? But Esau promotes that, so we go against that. We contrary to that. Where we at?
I just finished that at second Ezra.
Is there more on that? We do one more time, Bubba the show? One more time, Bubba the show?
Second Ezra is 3 and I read. Want me to read 36 again? This Second Ezra is 3 and 36. It says, "Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen."
Israel by name have kept their precepts, but not the heathen. That's what we do. We keep the precepts. That's why the thing that I read the fourth time before our learning. That's what we keep. Esau and out here on the highways and byways bringing forth people. No Moabites. I haven't seen an Ishmaelite doing this. Nobody. Only the so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans who fit the prophecies of the Bible.
Well, Esau is the number one promoter of bacon or pork. See what I'm saying? Talking about keeping the precepts. They got a baconator, bacon on everything, man. They got bacon wrapped bacon, man. See what I'm saying? They got other meats flavored like bacon, man. Oh, you got turkey bacon. You got this kind of bacon, man. They got all kind of goddamn swine out here, man. They the ones promoting and pushing all these abominations, man.
That's why it says in Romans, the Spirit bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of Most High.
Because when they came here, the Puritans came with what? Christianity. And they don't keep none of the laws. Matter of fact, they made their own constitution, made their own amendments, made their own Bill of Rights, made their own ordinance, local, state, all that, federal. And they will take heed to none of the laws of the Most High. You know?
Because they can't.
It wasn't given to them. They don't have the spirit to.
Yep. This is the song of the three holy children, chapter 1, verse 3. I'll start at verse 3. It says, "For thou art righteous in all thy things." For thou art righteous in all the things that thou hast done to us.
Right.
Yea, true are all thy works. Thy ways are right, and all thy judgments are true.
So all his judgments are true because everything that we have gone through is for a purpose. And the Most High, he does not do anything. He does not do anything that's unjust without a purpose. Matter of fact, he does, and there's no iniquity in him. Matter of fact, he asked that, "What iniquity have thy fathers found in me?" Go ahead.
That's right. Verse 4, it says, "In all," verse 5, it says, oh no, I'm right. Verse 4. "In all the things that thou hast brought upon us, and upon the holy city of our fathers, even Jerusalem, thou hast executed true judgment, for according to truth in judgment."
For his truth and his word. If you don't do what I ask you to do, this what's going to happen. So I'm true to my word. He said, "I do this not for you. I do this for my name's sake."
If I may add too, bro, it was great men in Israel that Yahweh Shemel jacked up too, bro. When you read the scriptures, Moses got
That's
jacked
the
up.
first
Lord
one to
told
come
him,
to mind.
yeah, Most High told him, look, because thou did this, thou shalt not enter into the promised land.
He was straightforward, bro. He
King
ain't
David,
Yeah.
King David, a man after the Most High's heart. All right. Okay, and what? King David got jacked up.
He
all
lost his son.
Right? When the prophet Nathan had to give him those three, obligations, if you will, of the Most High Yahweh Shai. King Solomon, all right, the only begotten son who was Yahweh Shai, he got jacked up, man. If he go off, he shall be beaten with the stripes of men. So righteous men been jacked up.
Even going to the beginning of Adam, his damn son was murdered, gave birth to the damn wicked seed.
Bro.
A lot of bullshit.
When the one dude, I forget his name, but it's like it's in the scriptures where he asked the Lord, like, Lord, if you deliver them in my hands, the first thing.
He gave his daughter.
Yeah, gave his daughter up. Like, I mean, she wanted a man, but still, like, yeah, he said the first thing that. The first person that see when I go back to my house, I will give you unto a sacrifice.
Yeah,
and the first person that ran up to him when he went home was his daughter. So he had to sacrifice his daughter.
That's why I said, don't swear, make an oath.
Yeah, bro. So he had to sacrifice his daughter, but he did it though.
That's the spirit, bro. Let me tell you how heavy the spirit is. I was thinking about this earlier today. Why did John the Baptist? We know about the spirit. Why did John the Baptist get beheaded?
Because the king made
Herod's brother.
He made a promise to that daughter that
He said, it was her birthday. Whatever you want, I'll give it to you.
She
And what did her mother say? I want John the Baptist head in the basket.
Yeah.
Yup.
So really, many righteous men got,
Yeah, man.
jacked up by the
Spirit,
Lord, bro.
heavy.
Look at what happened to in Acts. Stephen, man. What happened to Stephen? He said, forget them for they not know what they have done. And he gave them the whole rundown because they thought he was going off.
But how about this though? What about Paul? Because Paul was actually killing the prophet, and he started preaching the same thing in their ministry. And then he went through those same trials and tribulations that they went through. And he counted righteous because Yahweh made him a chosen vessel.
Hey, the scriptures say, bless, precious in the sight of the Most High, the blood of his saints.
Death of the saints.
Death of the saints. Like. Yeah, that chest, bro. The Most High, he's serious, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Like, man.
Anybody got anything else in the spirit?
No.
You got something?
No.
I thought you had something.
Well, yeah, I had something that kind of went off topic. You was like saying about Lord could do anything. I had Amos 3:7. It's Amos 3:7. It says, surely, let me go to 6. Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and Yahweh have not done it?
So shall there be evil in the city, the Most High have not done it. And hold on, why you think Yahweh said, hey, let not your hearts be troubled? Because we know when we see somebody perish or somebody get judged. We know it's Yahweh. Okay, go ahead, Up.
It says, Micah 3:7, it says, surely Yahweh will do nothing,
Right?
but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
But he revealed his secrets to his servant, the prophets. So when people, grandmas, grandma, auntie go to the church, they had the funeral. Oh Lord Jesus, why you took him, baby? Oh Lord, why you took Jesus? Well, the issues of death belong to the Most High. We know why. It was checkout time. Why you want to know why? Because that person was not profitable. All right.
Hey, I got one more for you. You brought it back. This brother called out a little earlier.
Yeah,
It's Micah chapter 7, verse 9. It says, I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth. It says he will, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness.
So what are we doing right now?
Hey, we out here working for the Lord, trying to basically get salvation, man. We got to try to basically endure our pay for our being responsible for our wickedness, more or less to say. It's like you go commit a crime, all right? You got to go out and pay what they call like restitution to restore that what you've done, man.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Crime. And that's what we out here doing right now, man. Right. We laboring because we know we went off from what the Most High commanded us to do, man. So now we got to go over there and pay the restitution, man.
Right.
Yeah, we know we weren't supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z or whatever, whatnot. We got caught by the police, the judge, and brought us before there. Say you sentenced to so many years in prison. All right, fuck it. We gonna go do our time, man. It ain't shit. Well, I ain't gonna say it ain't shit, but we gonna go do our time because we know we fucked up, man. Yeah, y'all caught me red-handed. They go to video, whatever, whatnot, man. All right, so what? We gonna go and do our time, man. All right.
That's right. Hey, you get that from me real quick. Isaiah 54:7. I think that's it.
for a small moment.
Yeah, yep. Done.
It says Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 7. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee.
So you wondering like, dang, hold on, why is all this happening? Why are they ruling over us? He said, I have forsaken you for a little moment. Then he said, the Spirit went up.
But with great mercies will I gather thee.
Right, but with great mercies. So not by the law, by mercy and grace and faith shall he gather us. Go ahead.
In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment.
For a moment, go ahead.
But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee.
So this time we always try to come back. Like he said, hey, just go through this for a little moment. Because in the end, it's going to be eternal glory. All this is temporal. You see what I went through the Spirit. Read the scripture. Go ahead up.
Saith the Lord Yahweh, thy Redeemer.
Come on. Go ahead up.
For this is as the waters of Noah unto me.
Right.
For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth.
And what's the signet of that?
The
No matter
bowl.
how hard it rains, no matter how hard it rains, you're going to see a rainbow in the sky. That right there is a covenant letting you know that I will not flood the earth again. All right?
So have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee.
So the Lord said, I'm not going to flood the earth again. So after this, hey, when affliction shall not rise again, I will not be wroth with thee anymore. Why? Because that new covenant is going to be us being perfect all over again. The Spirit of Christ, Yahweh, Shema, Shai. So with that being said, we're going to give all the glory and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ba'akudash. Double on style of the apostle, great millstone, do well. Seek underside, say, start, sister, brother, peace and blessings to the 1/3 to the confusion of faces. That being said, call me out, Shalom, off like a ball, Shalom.